I want to do my Charlie Brown like holiday dance.
Dun, 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 dun. And sitting beside her, of course, is one Ray Aura.
Yup. What's up, PlayStation fans?
Oh my gosh.
And so everybody's rocking and donning their favorite Christmas stuff. So I had to wear mine again today. But anyway, guys, it is great to see you here today. We are one day away from Christmas.
They're saying no sound.
Oh no, there's sound.
Oh, okay.
We are one day away from Christmas Eve. We are one day away from Christmas Eve. So we're all racking it out. There's not going to be a regular John Campea show tomorrow, but there will be a show. Like I'm going to do one solo myself tomorrow. We're going to give everybody else the day off tomorrow, but we're going to have one for anybody who's kicking around on Christmas Eve. But listen, guys, we have a ton of stuff to talk about here today. John Wick 4 gets moved a lot. Vincent D'Onofrio apparently just confirmed that he's not the same Kingpin as he is in Daredevil. Batgirl is getting a little bit more star power with Michael Keaton. Does that mean he's replacing Ben Affleck in the DCEU? Maybe yes, maybe no. I'm going to give my thoughts on The Matrix. There's a new trailer for Uncharted. Oh my gosh. There's a lot of stuff here to talk about here today. Anyway, guys, it's great to have you here. And here's how today's show is going to go. We're going to break it down into two halves. The first half of the show, we're going to take some predetermined topics. Then in the second half of the show, we're going to take your live comments and your live questions. Now, if you have a comment and you're watching live, and you got to be watching live, but if you're watching live, you have a comment, thought, opinion, whatever, then not a question, comment, thought, or opinion, not a question, you can use the YouTube chat, super chat feature to send that in, and we'll read off those comments of yours once we get to the end of the main topics. However, if you have a question for the show that you'd like read on the show and answered, or brought up on a companion video, simply go down into the description of this video and you'll see a tip link. Click on that there, or enter it in manually at www.streamelements.com/movieblogtv/tip. You'll be getting your question read on a show if, of course, we deem your question appropriate to be read on the show. And, of course, you'll be supporting the channel at the same time. And all of us involved with the John Campea Show, thank you guys so very much for your support. Also, a little bit of house cleaning. Don't forget, guys, that you can also get the John Campea Show in an audio-only format. Maybe you're commuting, maybe you're at work, maybe you're at the gym, and you need an audio version. Good news, there is the John Campea Show podcast. That's just an audio-only version of this show right here. It's on all podcasting apps. Just go on your favorite podcasting app of choice, search for the show, and subscribe to it today so it's there when you need it. All right, guys. With that down, let's get into a couple of off the tops here, shall we? And the first off the top is this. Now, of course, with Kingpin popping up in Hawkeye, which, so I wish Hawkeye was better. Anyway, I wish they stuck the landing. If they had delivered a really good finale, I think I would have liked the show overall, but I thought it was kind of a weak thing. But one of the continuous questions that come up is this Vincent D'Onofrio the same Kingpin from the Netflix show? Is it the exact same one? Is it just that guy with the story continued? Kevin Feige has kind of implied in the past that it's not, but they've never really said either way. I believe it's not. But now Vincent D'Onofrio was asked in an interview with TV Line, kind of straight up about it. Like, is this the guy or not? And basically, he kind of sounds like he confirms that he's not. This is basically what he says. There are obviously things that we cannot connect. Well, it's because he's not the same guy. There are obviously things that we can't connect. For instance, this version of Kingpin is stronger. But as far as how I played him and the history that I carry myself from and into Hawkeye, he's the same guy. So there obviously are things we cannot connect. For instance, this one's stronger. Actually, he talks about that a little bit more at the beginning of the paragraph when he says, obviously in Hawkeye, he is physically stronger and can take more physical abuse. But emotionally, and as far as the history that was discussed, it was done with an eye on trying to connect as many dots from Daredevil to Hawkeye as we can, or as possible, D'Onofrio says. There are obviously things that we cannot connect. For instance, he's stronger, but as far as how I played him, and the history that I carry myself from and into Hawkeye, he's the same guy. So he's being a little bit ambiguous here, and I wouldn't put $1 million on it. But to me, when I read that, when he says, look, there are obviously things we can't connect. Well, if he's the same Kingpin, then you can connect everything. But obviously there are things we can't connect. This version of Kingpin is stronger. He can take more physical abuse. That's what this version of Kingpin can do. But as far as how I played him, I try to play him and connect as many dots to the Daredevil series as much as I can.
So we got McHugh'd.
Yeah, a little bit. And then a little bit later down in the interview as well, he starts talking about that, I left Daredevil behind years ago. He says all that kind of stuff and whatever. So, I mean, look, am I willing to put $1 million that we're never going to hear Kevin Feige come out and say that, oh, yeah, this is definitely not, the Kingpin from the Netflix. I'm not willing to put $1 million on it. But before hearing D'Onofrio's words, it seems pretty clear to me that it's a different one. By the way, we're going to talk a little bit about Colleen Wing here in a little bit, who, of course, that was played by the actress Jessica Henwick in Iron Fist, another of the Netflix shows. And we're going to be talking about how she's another kind of proof that D'Onofrio's Kingpin isn't the same one, because she almost got a role in Shang-Chi, which of course eliminates her character Colleen Wing from anything else if she was in Shang-Chi. But we're going to talk about that in just a little bit else. So look, you could be, if we wanted to play semantics, you could maybe find a way. You might be able to find your way around semantically to find somehow that this is him saying that he is the same Kingpin. To me, as soon as he says, obviously, we can't connect all the dots. This is a stronger Kingpin. This is a Kingpin who can take a lot more physical punishment. But the way I played him, just the way he said that, the way I played him emotionally, he said, it's the same guy. So to me, that's him pretty much confirming that he's not, but I'm not willing to put $1 million. Kim, you hear his words. When you hear him say that, because I just want to know, when you hear him say, there are obviously things that we can't connect. For instance, he's stronger. Obviously, in the show, he's physically stronger and take more physical abuse. But emotionally, as far as the history is discussed, we try to connect as many dots. I don't know. When you hear him right now, do you think he's the same Kingpin from the Netflix series, or do you believe he's saying that he's not? How do you see it right now?
Honestly, the way I see it is that, like Ray, I think Ray made it up yesterday. He got McHugh'd. He got McHugh'd. He got that MCU juice into him. I think he can be the same Kingpin with a double shot. You know what I'm saying? Just amped up. I think it's kind of clear now, as they're bringing different characters from different universes. Your characters are great. We like you. But if you come into our universe, you're getting juiced up. So he very well may be the same one. I'm thinking he might be the same one.
Really?
But you
see
got,
that it's so fascinating here.
But you got juiced up.
Not.
You got McHugh'd. You got juiced up.
Right.
He didn't come in and go,
for those who don't know what Kim is talking about when she says McHugh'd. Yesterday's show, Ray made up that word based on MCU. And the MCU. So
actually, someone in the chat did, but then
someone in the chat. Okay,
yeah.
Then you said it, and instead of saying MCU, he said you got McHugh'd. So that just so you know what Kimberly's talking about. Please continue. I just want to make sure our audience knew what we were talking about.
Kimberly is on something today. No, it's a real word that is not a real word. So there. But I think it. Look, if he changed the voice, like I said, if he came in and was like, "Hey, where's Hawkeye?" Okay, you're a different guy. Or if he all of a sudden had a deep accent that wasn't there before, or he had, more of a limp with the cane. If he had something that was, drastic, I would go, okay, different guy. I mean, obviously the Hawaiian shirt, like what
the tracksuit mafia.
What are you doing?
The beaded curtains, the tacky decor. You mean everything else about him?
So tacky. You were so tacky. His fashion sense went down and his strength went up. So he got McHugh'd, in my opinion.
All right, and there's a lot of people out there who think that. There's a lot of people out there. Now, again, to me, when you add this with the fact that they were just going to get Jessica, who is Colleen Wing, in the Netflix universe, and they were just going to change her character and make her somebody else. To me, that just kind of doubles down that Kevin Feige is not bringing the Netflix thing into canon. But Kevin Feige does Kevin Feige things, so
it's
who
not
knows?
It's not what Doctor Strange said. They're all coming in. No, they are not. Only the ones that we want to be here are coming in. So they are not all coming in.
Let me clarify. Let me press you on this a little bit.
Yes.
So you're thinking they may bring in the same Kingpin, but other things, that doesn't necessarily mean that other things in the Netflix universe are canon. So you're saying that some things in the Netflix universe are canon and some things are not canon.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Isn't that essentially saying this is kind of a different guy then? Like if it's either that world exists or it doesn't?
I'm totally agreeing that there are differences.
Right.
I mean,
So,
obviously
there's some changes.
There are differences, but I feel like in terms of the way he was, the way he spoke, you know, his presence, it wasn't different enough to me to go, oh, this is a totally different iteration of this character.
Well, that's consistent with what he said when he said, but emotionally, I tried to play him the same way.
That to me is the important part.
Was that the emotion he was trying to portray him as the same way? Because that's the core of the
character. Everything else is, in my opinion, everything else is icing on the cake, but the cake is still the same. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because really it's the core of the character. I mean, if you find out that something changed and this one had a brother who died and that's why he's the way he is, and you're like, well, where the hell did that come from? That's different.
So just to be clear, if there's comes a conversation with Kingpin in the MCU at some point, and he talks about his history, he will mention, I was involved with a woman named Vanessa, and I used to fight Daredevil, and I had this confrontation with Punisher in prison. So you're believing this is that same guy. This is one continuity.
I'm believing that it's that same guy.
And you're not alone.
But that he's going to be but he's MCU juiced up.
But he's MCU,
you know what I'm saying?
With an Hawaiian shirt and the tracksuit mafia.
Just you could not make that fashion. Just very tacky.
Okay. Well, listen, I think there are going to be other people out there who believe that as well. I don't at all. Ray, what about you?
The only thing is, like, why would they bring the same actor if there wasn't some elements they wanted to bring from the Netflix version or something?
I think for fan service, I think it's the same reason that they brought in the same actor who played Quicksilver in the X-Men thing and brought him in there. And
that wasn't
Ralph Boner,
So, I mean, I think it's Kevin Feige fan service that people wanted to see, Charlie Cox in this universe. So Kevin Feige comes out and says Charlie Cox is going to be our Daredevil. Yeah. People want to see almost more. I don't think I'm out of line to say, I think even more people wanted to see Vincent D'Onofrio continue to play Kingpin than even wanted Charlie Cox playing Daredevil. Like, I know I'm one of them. Like, I love him as Kingpin. So,
I think they could have done, I think they could have brought Charlie Cox in and changed Kingpin, and people would have been more pleased with that than having the same Kingpin and a different Charlie. But can you imagine a different Matt Murdock? Do you think people wouldn't be
let's put this
more disturbed by that and go, how the hell are you going to bring back Kingpin? And now I got to look at this blonde guy playing Matt Murdock.
Completely the opposite as well. They'd say, how can you possibly bring in the guy who played Daredevil and not bring back Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin?
I see that.
To a lot of people, Vincent D'Onofrio was the best part of Daredevil. And I say that with all due respect to Stardust alum Charlie Cox. Thank you so much for that movie, by the way, Charlie. Stardust, and all due respect to Charlie Cox, who was great as Matt Murdock. Fantastic. But Vincent D'Onofrio was born to play Kingpin. I mean, the way he played him is just like one of my favorite characters like ever on television. But I don't know.
Are we allowed to talk about spoilers yet or no?
From what?
Hawkeye.
Yeah, it's days old now.
Okay, well, I'm thinking, I said it after we watched it. I said, this is why they brought him in. We're never going to see him again. What do you think about that?
Yeah, there's some people who don't think we're going to see him again.
Because why recast him? If they recasted him, because I really think he's done. This was just a one and done.
Right. So you think that gunshot he actually died.
Yeah, this is a one and done. That's what I think, because I don't know, it just makes sense to me to do it that way.
All right. So it's like even in this room, there's a lot of different opinions. So you can imagine the diversity of opinions amongst the fandom, right? Everything from he definitely didn't die to yes, it's one and done to yes, it's the same Netflix to yes, it's not the same as Netflix. There's a whole bunch of stuff still up in the air that we will find out as we go along. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this at this moment? Jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, let's move on to another off the top here, shall we? And that is this. One of the movies that not a lot of people seem to be looking forward to, but I really am, is Uncharted. They put out the first trailer. First of all, I love the casting. I love, I'm a big fan of Tom Holland. I think even in movies that I don't like, an actor's really good when you watch a movie you don't like, but you love certain actors in it. And you take a movie like Cherry, I thought Tom Holland was fantastic. I mean, I thought he really flexed a lot of his acting muscles in that movie. I thought he was great, even though I didn't think the movie was great overall. Obviously, he's fantastic as Spider-Man. I thought he was an inspired choice to play Drake in Uncharted. Now, I know a lot of people wanted Nathan Fillion. And I love Nathan Fillion. Good Canadian kid. Aaron Cummings right now is working with Nathan Fillion on his show, The Rookie.
Oh, that's right. Lucky girl.
Can't wait to watch those episodes. But the reality is Nathan Fillion is almost 50. Or he might even be in his... I don't know how old he is. Hey, Google. How old is Nathan Fillion? Sorry to everybody who...
Nathan Fillion is 50 years old.
Okay, so he is 50.
There you
So
go.
sorry, I take it back. So Nathan Fillion's 50. That doesn't mean he can't play anything, but you can't start a brand new, what you want to be a long-term action franchise with Nathan Fillion playing the role. As great as that little fan film was that he did, with Slang, Stephen Lang in there as Sully, which was great. As fun as that little fan film was, you can't do it. So I have really been looking forward to this movie quite a bit. And a brand new trailer for it has come out today. And it is more wacky, more fun. There are flying pirate ships in this thing. Flying pirate ships in this trailer. I just thought the whole thing looked really fun. I can see if I can... Where's the damn flying pirate ships? Where is it? Oh, there they are. They're flying pirate ships. I'm like, if I wasn't already on board, flying pirate ships has me hooked. I think it carries the sense of fun that I got from the games. Some of the shots are like directly ripped right from the games. Stuff like that. I think the dynamics between Mark Wahlberg and Tom Holland are going to be really good. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Now, granted, we've seen lots of great trailers to terrible movies. Matrix 4. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a little bit. We've seen lots of good trailers to terrible movies. But I got to tell you right now, for me, I thought this trailer was fun. You know, the job of a trailer, we talk all the time, is about taking your interest level, no matter how high or how low it is, and bump it up a bit. And I was already pretty damn interested in this movie, but it made me even more excited. And Antonio Banderas, with his voice, much blood was spilled. I'm like, no, Antonio, too sexy. Too sexy, Antonio. Too sexy. I love Antonio Banderas playing the heavy. I'm on board with this. I know a lot of people look at me funny when I say that. I don't give a damn. I think this movie looks like a lot of fun. I can't wait to watch it. I think this trailer was pretty sharp. Not as good as, like, say, the Matrix trailer or things like that, but I thought it was a very, very solid trailer. Kim, you had a chance to check out the trailer today. What do you think about it?
It was so fun. I have this weird habit that when you have 3 nephews, of course they point out your weird habits to you, where when something's really fun and I'm looking at the screen, I'm like, I have this weird look of, and my nephew's like, close your mouth. But like, honestly, I get really involved in the awe and the wonder. I love whimsy. I love an event type of film. And this just looks like a ride. It looks like a mix between a little bit of Indiana Jones, a dash of Pirates of the Caribbean, and a whole lot of Da Vinci Code. And I'm here for it. It just looks like a good time, a fun time. And I was more excited seeing the second trailer with those ships. I would definitely have that. My mouth was agape and I was like awe and wonder. The eyes got big and I get all so I'm really excited to see it. I think it's gonna be a good time.
How cool was that shot? As first of all, you have 2 flying pirate ships, being care about that, and then the swashbucklers, like in the old pirate movies, the Errol Flynn movies, swinging over from one pirate ship to the next. I'm like, I am so here for this. It just looks so good. I'm curious, Ray. You had a chance to watch this trailer this morning.
This PlayStation movie.
Says the Xbox man.
No, I actually wasn't interested at all. The only interest I had was because I knew Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg were in it. And I think they could do good things. But after this trailer, I got a little bit of interest now. I got to see a little bit more because I'm, you know me, John. I'm not into these types of movies. The Indiana Jones, I've never seen any of them.
Really? You never saw any of the Indiana Jones films?
Yeah, I know, man. I'm just digging myself a hole here with all the things I haven't watched. But yeah, I haven't seen any of the Indiana Jones. It's just like I stick with my genres. That's why. And maybe that's the bullshit part of me that like is like I will not like that because. But every time I've been told that I don't like a certain thing, and like let's say you and Anna are watching it, and I have to sit there and look at it, I'm like. That movie's pretty good. You know,
Anne had never, I think Anne had never watched Indiana Jones either till I started introducing her to it.
Yeah, see?
Really?
When we were kids, we were like, we just watched cartoons all the time.
Right.
My little cousin, you know, Lucky.
Yeah,
Lucky,
cousin
right?
Lucky.
Yeah. He's the one who would bring and watch Star Trek, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, and he would always put the VHS tape in.
Yeah.
And then we would just leave.
Oh my God.
And play outside.
Oh.
Maybe it's because it was too long back then too. Those movies are too long for me. Who knows? But I'm a little interested in this now.
I'm pretty looking forward to this. I think this looks pretty fun. Anyway, guys, question is for you. Did you have a chance to watch the brand new Uncharted trailer that's just dropped? If so, what did you think? Maybe you're not looking forward to this movie at all. Maybe you're looking forward to a lot. Whatever you guys are feeling, jump on down to the comment section below and leave your thoughts there. All right, guys. With that down, let's do one more off the top here, and that is this. You know, we just had Jason Reitman just put out a wonderful Ghostbusters Afterlife movie. So much fun. He did such a good job for it. Of course, they surprised us with it several months ago at CinemaCon in Las Vegas. They kind of just said, oh, by the way, we're going to show you the movie right now. We're like, what? And then they showed us the whole movie. It's so fun. It was a true follow-up to the original Ghostbusters films. And there's a brand new, to commemorate this Ghostbusters movie coming out on home video, Sony is putting out the Ghostbusters Ultimate Set. It is a set, I think it's like a 8-disc set or something like that, 6-disc set, something, that has all the Ghostbusters and a ton of behind-the-scene footage and everything. Except there's one Ghostbusters movie not being included in it. And that's the 2016 Paul Feig, I should say, Paul Feig's Ghostbusters. A movie which I still to this day do not think is as dumpster fire awful as some people make it out to be. It's not a horrible movie. It's not a good movie either, but it's not an outrageously horrible. There are some good laughs in it, and it's got some charm, and some of the things in it work, but it's not good. I mean,
what didn't work for you with that movie? Because I actually liked it.
Did you like that one? I see, because there's things to like
I
in
didn't
it.
see no Indiana
I
Jones.
know, man. What am I? Am I
But I
not
love me
supposed to
some
be here?
Ghostbusters with the
I'm not
ladies.
supposed to be here is what that's telling me.
Here's the thing. It's just, the narrative was weak. They played so much on, like, every single frame seemed to have look, everybody, we recognize that from the original Ghostbusters movie. And look, ooh, there's Bill Murray. And ooh, look, there's this. And it almost became what's the word I'm looking for? Not a well, in a way, yeah, it kind of became a satire of itself. And it just kind of didn't work. I thought Chris Hemsworth was hilarious in it, to be honest with you.
So damn funny.
He was funny in it. But overall, the film didn't work. Well, yeah, so they're doing this new Ultimate DVD Blu-ray box, and they're not including it. And apparently, Paul Feig, who is a great director, by the way, he did a movie like two or 3 years ago with
the Blake Lively
with
one?
Blake Lively and
Anna
Kendrick.
Yes.
And Anna Kendrick, called A Simple Favor, which, guys, if you have not seen A Simple Favor,
so good.
It is a brilliantly made movie. It's fun. It's entertaining. It's got a great story. Fantastic
Henry
characters.
Golding is in it.
Yes, Henry
Right?
Golding is in it.
yeah,
Yeah, he's kind of like the guy. He's the dude.
Yeah.
It is a wonderful film. Like, I mean, Paul Feig, he can direct. You may not like that Ghostbusters, but I'm telling you what, Paul Feig can direct some really good movies. He really can. But apparently he's pretty upset.
Oh.
So much so that he's gone public to call out Sony for not including his thing there.
Come on.
Paul Feig came out and said, Sony, I know this must be a mistake. We do have a lot of fans, and Bill, Dan, and Ernie were in it, and it won the Kids' Choice Awards. Hold up everything, everybody! Time out! It won the Kids' Choice Awards! You put some damn respect on this movie's name. Respect. You put some damn respect on this movie's name. It won the Kids' Choice Award. Damn it. Does he walk around into McDonald's carrying his Kids' Choice Awards? Do I get a free Happy Toy?
Oh my
Because
god.
my Kids' Choice Awards. Anyway, let's continue on. And it won the Kids' Choice Awards for Best Feature Film the year it came out.
That's got to mean something, John.
It's gotta mean something. So I guess this was just an oversight. Hashtag we are all Ghostbusters. Yeah, look, I have met Paul Feig on a number of occasions. He is a delightful, honestly, wonderful guy. I am a big fan of many of his films. I think he is a truly gifted, talented director. I mean, he's not on Denis Villeneuve, Christopher Nolan, Antoine Fuqua. Like I don't put him up there, but he is a very good director who's directed some really good films, and I respect him a lot. But here's the thing. I don't think this Ghostbusters, 2016 Ghostbusters, was kept out of the Ultimate Collection because people hate it. I personally think it was left out of the Ultimate collection because Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters 2, and Ghostbusters Afterlife are all one story.
Yes.
They're all the same cinematic universe. They're all one story. They're all tied together. It is the same Bill Murray in Ghostbusters 1 and Ghostbusters 2 and Ghostbusters Afterlife. It is not the same one that he plays. It's not the same character he plays in Ghostbusters 2016. So, I mean, I get if you're Paul Feig and you've taken a lot of shit over the years about Ghost. He's taken so much shit over that movie. And I'm sure it probably just irritates him at this point. And I get feeling like your feathers are a little bit ruffled when they call it the Ultimate Ghostbusters Collection and they don't put your Ghostbusters movie in it. Number one, you don't go public with it. Don't make it public. Like, take care of your business behind closed doors. Get on the phone, call Rothman or call somebody and express your displeasure. Nothing positive will get accomplished by you making it public. You're either just going to make other people look bad or you're going to make yourself look bad, or both. And it's just nothing positive comes out of it. Nothing gets accomplished. But I also, although I do, as much as I like Paul Feig, I got to say, we won the Kids' Choice Awards. Like,
he was proud.
He was very proud.
Proud moment for him.
I mean, hell, I've never won a Kids' Choice Award.
Hey.
I suppose if I did, I'd be very proud of it too. I mean, hell, you can see it.
I can see now the kids.
Bring
on the filthy.
There it is, right there. My YouTube silver plaque. Woo! Woo! Right there. I got my Academy Web Television Awards over there. Woo!
That's
I mean,
awesome.
I never won a
That's
Kids' Choice
freaking
Award. I
awesome.
suppose if I did, I'd be carrying it around too. Make a big deal out of it. But yeah, number one, I think he should have never made this public. I get feeling a little bit upset and a little bit slighted. Never should have made it public. Number two, I really don't think this is a commentary on his movies. The commentary is that these other movies are one continuity. They're one continuous story. And yours was kind of a one-off Elseworlds kind of a thing. So I don't know. You heard his response here, Kim. What did you think about it?
First of all,
I should ask, do you think they should have included it in the Ultimate set?
Well, Ultimate set, Ghostbusters, I want to go to there. How soon can I get my hands on that? Two, no, they shouldn't have included it, and he shouldn't take it personally. This is about legacy. This is really about legacy. It's not, I don't believe it's a slight. I don't believe it's saying we only recognize in this world, this universe here, there's only 3 Ghostbusters. I don't think it's saying a message at all. I think it's saying this is about legacy. 1984, 1989, and 2001, it's one story. And it would even be a little bit different if the Bill Murray was the same character in the 2016 version, but it's just not. He's just not. I mean, even Ernie Hudson, what was he, a limo driver? You know, he was the girl's uncle. They're not the same character, so it's not a slight. And I appreciate what Paul, I keep wanting to say Feige. Feig, thank you. I appreciate what he's done. I like his movies. Damn if he can't wear a suit. Don't take it personally. Please don't take it personally. This is about legacy. The Reitmans had a legacy that they started 37 years ago, and this is just keeping it in the family, keeping it all together. So don't take it personally, but don't get on social and show us how butthurt you are.
Yeah,
no.
Again, tell me one positive thing that's going to come out of this. Now, I wish I could
Somebody's
go back.
not going to add it and go, it's now 9 disc set.
Yeah, no, seriously. I want to grab him. I want to be able to go back in time and grab him just as he's about to hit send on his tweet and just ask him, seriously, Paul, what positive thing is going to come out of you sending out this tweet? Do you think Sony's going to go, oh my gosh, we totally forgot about Ghostbusters 2016. You're right, Mr. Feig. Yes, let's put it. No, that's not going to happen. All it's going to happen is it's going to get all the online haters of the Ghostbusters 2016 to start talking again about how much they hate your movie. and nothing good is going to come out. You're either going to embarrass yourself, you're going to embarrass Sony, you're going to embarrass both of you. I mean, nothing positive.
And adding to the conversation of a lot of people, I mean, there were so many haters for so many different reasons. I laughed a lot. I enjoyed it. Chris Hemsworth was magic. I thought it was good. You know, it wasn't perfect, but honestly, nobody's really a lot of the complaints were, you guys made this movie out of a complaint that women aren't in Ghostbusters, and so you're just continuing this narrative of more complaining that you're adding to this movie.
Yeah, and I just thought they made it because it was an interesting, fresh idea.
I celebrate your movie, bro.
Yeah, I thought it was a fresh idea.
You.
I just didn't think it turned out
Fresh
very
idea,
well.
great cast. I celebrate your movie, but let's stop attaching complaints to it.
All right, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Are you going to get the Ghostbusters Ultimate Collection if it doesn't have Ghostbusters 2016 on it? Are you feeling slighted if you are a member of the Kids' Choice Awards committee that such damn disrespect is being put on your awards out there? Anyway, guys, however you're feeling about it, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys, with that down, let's move into our main topics here today. And how do we select our main topics here on the John Campea Show? Well, it's really simple. You see, you guys come up with them. Whenever you come across a big topic, issue, or story that you guys feel we need to cover as a main topic here on the show, just go anytime 24/7 over to www.thejohncampeashow.com/contact. Once you guys get there, you're going to see a form. It's absolutely free. Hit submit, and then maybe, just maybe, you might see your submission featured as a main topic here on the John Campea Show. With that down, Kim, what is our first main topic today?
All right, guys, our first main topic is coming from Ken Dixon. I've been a huge fan since the AMC days and love the show.
Thank you.
I just read that Top Gun Maverick has made Lionsgate blink, and they're moving John Wick Chapter 4 from May 2022 to March 2023. This news dropped conveniently on the same day as Matrix Resurrections released. Coincidence? I think not. I think moving off of that date made sense, and I suppose the calendar is full. John, what do you think of John Wick moving off this date and announcing it on the same date as Keanu's other major action franchise?
All right, thanks a lot for saying that in, man. And yeah, listen, John Wick, I adore this franchise. And it's one to me, well, I'm not going to say it gets stronger and stronger because I didn't think John Wick 2 was as good as John Wick 1, but I thought John Wick 3 was the best of the bunch. Like I went bananas for John. I still remember Ann and I going to watch that movie for the first time, and we just kept looking at each other, like bouncing up and down. Like, it's crazy. It's so crazy. And Storm was in it, by the way.
Freaking Halle Berry.
Halle Berry was so good in that.
Yes.
And John Wick and her were so good together, and everything about that movie is so much damn. The dogs.
I told you I wouldn't do that, but he hurt my dog. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, oh, the dogs were so
that.
fun. I mean, the movie is great. And I have been salivating for John Wick 4. Now, there was a time when Matrix 4 and John Wick 4 were supposed to come out on the same day.
Right, remember that?
Yeah.
That was right.
And it was earlier this year. They were supposed to come out on the same day.
Yeah.
And now we're talking about John Wick 4 maybe not coming out till 2023 now.
Freaking A.
Now, look, on the one hand, I get it. Unfortunately, Top Gun Maverick, which looks so good. I cannot wait for them to release the footage that they showed us at CinemaCon a few months ago. I've been one of these, it's too little too late for another Top Gun movie. And then they showed us like 13, 14, 15 minutes of the movie. I'm like, oh my God, I got to watch this whole movie right now. It looks so good. So look, I get it. Top Gun, John Wick 4 is going to get run over. We get it. So I get moving off that date. Did you have to move it a year?
Why you got to do us like that?
Really? A year?
It's a long time.
Anyway, this comes to us from the folks over at Variety who write this. At one point, The Matrix Resurrections and John Wick 4 were set to arrive in theaters on the same day of May 21st, 2021, so like 6 months ago, before Matrix moved to December after COVID-19 affected production schedules. Filming on John Wick 4 got underway on June 20th, 2021, after Reeves wrapped up his return as Neo in Lana Wachowski's Matrix sequel. So, yeah, it has been moved now to March of 2023. And I got to tell you, I just don't understand the logic, because here's the thing. The John Wick franchise is one you got to capitalize on with momentum.
Yes.
Right now, I feel like it's been a while since we saw John Wick 3. And if you want to, and let's be honest here, the John Wick franchise, as awesome as it is and as many fans as it has, these movies do not blow up the box office. These movies don't make $800 million at the box office. I think the last one made 3 and change. I think it made 3 and change, right?
I couldn't hear what you said.
Oh, sorry. My watch is thinking I'm trying to talk to it. And when I said seriously, my watch thought I was talking to it. Okay, so anyway, it's not like these things blow up the box office. Momentum is one of the things you got to take advantage of. Today feels like it's almost too late. Now we're talking about March of 2023. And here's the other thing. Nobody likes to think about this. Reeves is getting older. And I don't think any of us want John Wick to stop at 4. There ain't none of us that want, because look, this is not the Maltese Falcon, okay? This is John Wick. You can put one of these out every year and we will eat them up as long as Keanu can walk. And I feel like you, not only are you depriving the audience of moving it a year, although that's not the number one consideration, you are literally losing a year of viability of doing more John Wick films. Maybe you can still do John Wick 5, but this might bring John Wick 6 into question. I mean, just a little thing like a year can mean a lot. And I get it. The 2022 schedule, because of the pandemic, also got really full. I get it. So you're going to have to find another date. But for a movie like John Wick, guess what? In as much that John Wick is not like an $800 million movie, it does have a very loyal and rabid fan base. And they will go whenever you put this movie out. Mm-hmm. I get it. If you're a Spider-Man movie, you want to come out in a summertime, you want to come out at Christmas time, you want to really maximize the huge billion-dollar potential box office. I get it. John Wick fans will go any time you put this out. You put this out on New Year's Eve, people will skip their plans and they will go watch John Wick 4. So why wait until, I just don't get the whole 2023 thing, pushing it off like almost a year. I personally think it's a mistake. I think it's a mistake. So anyway, guys, the question is for you. What do you think about them moving? I mean, I get not keeping it on the same day as Top Gun Maverick, especially after watching some footage of it. I get it. But did you have to move it almost a year? Whatever you guys are thinking about it, jump on down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, let's keep riding the Keanu Reeves train and go into main topic number 2. Kim, what is our second main topic today?
Okay, Chris Moss says, "Good morning, John and crew. After watching Matrix Resurrections, I was wondering if you happen to know the process for a movie to get greenlit. Do studio execs actually read the scripts, or do they just hear the name of a popular franchise during a pitch like Star Wars, Matrix, Kingsman, Predator, and yell, 'Green light'? Because I think Matrix should have gotten a red light."
A little bit of Squid Game reference going on there. Yeah, so look, you guys know, I went to go see Matrix Resurrections yesterday.
I couldn't stop laughing at your out of the movie.
Oh, you watched my out of the theater review?
I was cracking up.
Listen.
You tried so hard to be nice.
I tried to be nice. Here's the thing.
I didn't see it, but
everybody knows that I have not been excited about Matrix 4. Okay. Full disclosure. I have not been excited about it. I love the first Matrix as much as anybody. I like Matrix 2 more than most people do, but it was a decline. And then Matrix 3, most people don't like Matrix 3, more of a decline. And since then, the Wachowskis have done what I consider to be a couple of the worst films maybe ever made. So I didn't feel with how much time has passed and the fact that only one of the Wachowskis was coming back, I just didn't feel excited for it. Then the trailers came out and the trailers were balls. The trailers were so good. My jaw was in my lap. I'm like, how can this movie look this good? Because that trailer it's one of the best. I put it in the top 5 best trailers of the last 6-7 years. That's how good I think that trailer is. It's amazing. It actually got a little bit of enthusiasm in me to go see the next Matrix, right? So all that's being said, then we see the initial reactions. The initial reactions were a little bit mixed. Not a bad Rotten Tomatoes score when it came out. It was in the high 60s. So certainly not bad, a decent score. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to go see this myself. And, I was tempted to just sit at home and watch it on HBO, but I'm like, no, this is The Matrix. I'm going to go watch it properly on the big screen the way it's meant to be watched. So I went out to watch it. It's awful. It's awful. Let me talk about some of the positive things first. Number one, it is great to see Keanu back as Neo, right? And he doesn't miss a beat. He really doesn't. It feels like he's done 6 or 7 other Matrix films in the meantime. He feels totally comfortable in this role. He steps right back into that world. He still has a little bit of the whoa going on, but that's fine. That's Neo. So he's able to slide right back into that world. Some of the action set pieces, and there's not a lot, but one of the action set pieces in particular was actually quite good. I thought the action was not bad. I've heard some people complain that the action wasn't very good. I thought the action was fairly solid. There wasn't enough of it, but there was some fairly solid action. Particularly one scene was quite good. I thought quite good. I thought the performances were all pretty solid. I thought obviously you have Carrie-Anne Moss and Keanu Reeves. Obviously, they stepped right back into being Neo and Trinity. Great to see them. But the supporting cast was great too. And, a lot of people asking a question, and I understand the question, why isn't Lawrence Fishburne playing Morpheus? The movie explains why he's not playing Morpheus. Not a very good explanation, but they do give an explanation nonetheless. And then, I thought Neil Patrick Harris is Neil Patrick Harris. That guy, he has charisma for days. It's great. The problem is, and I'm going to spoil a very, very small little thing that's in the first act of the film. Okay, this is a small detail, not super important to, all the unraveling of the story in the second and third acts, but I am going to give you a little bit here, okay? So, because I need to express why this movie lost me almost right from the beginning. Okay? So if you want to tune out, go ahead and tune out now, because I'm just going to give you a little bit of what's in the setup of Act 1, okay? But here we go. So Neo is now a game developer. He's a video game developer. And he made, anybody in this room want to guess the name of the video game he made that made him famous?
The Matrix?
That's right! 20 points, Hufflepuff.
Thank you.
So he plays a character. He's a guy he's a video game creator. Thomas Anderson is a video game creator, and he got super famous because 20 years ago, he made a trilogy of Matrix video games. 3 Matrix video games. And now Warner Brothers, and he swore he would never make another one, but now Warner Brothers, I kid you not, Warner Brothers wants to force him to make new Matrix games.
Wait a second. Wait. Are we talking about Warner Brothers is in the movie?
Yes.
Warner Brothers is in the Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers is in the Warner Brothers movie.
Man, changing the game right there.
That's right.
I don't even know if you're talking about real life or not. Okay, go on. I'm interested.
And so he's like, no, I left the Matrix. I don't want to do another Matrix game. Warner Brothers says they'll do it without you if you want to do it. They said the first trilogy is not enough. The people want more Matrix. Okay, so I guess I got to make more Matrix. And of course, in this Matrix game, he had characters like Trinity and Morpheus and blah, blah, blah. But he's as you can tell from the trailers, he's like struggling with his sanity. Like he's confused. Wait a minute, was the Matrix real? All that kind of stuff. And then along comes
this sounds greater.
Yeah, then along comes now I'm raising
I like this. Keep going.
Okay, so then anyway,
oh my God.
Stuff happens. Colleen Wing comes into the movie. Neo wakes up again, which we of course see in the trailer, so that's fine. And then everything else starts to go. So I will say this. As soon as this started, I'm like, you've already fucking lost me. I mean, this is so stupid. It's just such a stupid notion. Look, when you look at how Matrix ended, Matrix 3 ends, Neo Neo dies. Okay? Trinity dies. They're dead. And the peace is now brought to the world between the machines and mankind and blah, blah. It's like, there are many places you could go after that. There's many different paths. seeing Keanu Reeves is playing Thomas Anderson, who's now a popular video game developer who made 3 movies. Oh, I'm sorry, video games called The Matrix 1, 2, and 3.
Holy shit.
With all these characters, I'm just like watching this. It's like there's something about being a little self-aware. There's a charm when a movie's a little bit self-aware and has a little bit of meta going on. This was just like, hey, I hear self-reference and meta are the cool things. Let's just throw self-reference and meta in it, and people will love it. And it's like, so it lost me right off the bat. But then they start moving through it, and it's like, okay, this is a thing now. Oh, all right. And it's like, wait a minute. No. That new thing, and I'm not going to tell you what it is, but there are several of these. That new thing can't just be, this is a thing now. Oh, okay. And then everybody just buys into it and accepts it and moves on from there. This movie does a lot of retconning. So there's a couple of big key concepts are retconned from the original film with wait a minute, how can that be? Well, ABC. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Totally retcon something that was from the original films. It's just somebody going ABC. And it's contradictory. And even its resolution at the end, Anne turns to me and goes, Anne, who had no idea what was going on in the movies, because she doesn't remember the original Matrix films at all. Like at all. So even Anne is turning to me at the end of the film and she's like, well, wait a minute. It ended like this. But wouldn't this, and this just happen and kind of mess up what it is the way they ended this film? Yes, honey, that's pretty much exactly like it's just a missed opportunity. Look, I was not excited for this, but there are very, very cool things you could have done. And to me, they just shot themselves in the proverbial foot. It just did not work for me whatsoever. So I know, Kim, did you have a chance to watch it? Because it is out on HBO Max now. Do you have a chance to see it?
Oh my gosh. First of all, I was so excited for this for many reasons. And first, let me say, I know that a lot of people work very hard on films, so I don't want to be disrespectful. So I'm just going to say it wasn't for me. Or in the words of Damon Wayans and David Alan Grier, hated it. Absolutely. When that happened, that plot detail happened in the first act. And by the way, I haven't finished it. I'm like a third of the way through because I fell asleep.
Because you have better things to do with your life, maybe?
My sock drawer was a mess. And I was like, I can't have this. So I just walked away. Why? What were you? Why are we doing this? Why? It reminds me of that Instagram where the little baby's going, what the hell?
Right.
And the mom's like, don't say that. What the hell? That's how I felt the whole part of the movie that I watched. I am incredibly disappointed. When they mentioned that word, Warner Brothers, I was like, you didn't just go there. You didn't do that. No, you didn't do that. And then they just kept on and kept on. It was insufferable.
You know what I thought of immediately when they brought up the Warner Brothers thing? The thing you said the other day, it's like, you know what the worst part of the Ocean's movies are? When Julia Roberts played Julia Roberts. That's exactly the exact same feeling I had watching this movie.
What the hell? That's all I gotta say. It's so
you were only able to trudge your way through about a third.
And I had so much hope for it. I was so excited.
I know you did. You were excited about it.
Everything that people were like, it looks bad because of this, and I was like, hold on to hope. Don't give up. No. Just give up.
Just give
Throw
up.
It white towel.
True story, Ray. Mm-hmm. So Ann and I, we get to the movie theater and we park. And as we're walking towards the theater from the parking lot, around the corner coming out of the theater are Hong, Matt, and Ryan. Right? Our buddies.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Keanu Reeves.
No, Keanu Reeves comes walking around the corner. Hey, John, what did you think of my movie?
You better like this movie, John.
It sucked, bro.
Good Canadian kid, Keanu Reeves. But we're walking in and Hong, Ryan, and Matt come walking around. And as soon as they see us walking into the theater, they start laughing. They're like, ha! I'm like, you guys saw Matrix? Yeah, it's a movie. I'm like, really? And the Matt goes, I'm telling you right now, turn around and get back in your car.
Right, okay.
That's exactly what Matt said. Yeah, he said, just turn around and go back to your car.
And I don't think this is not a spoiler. I don't believe this is a spoiler at all. But if anyone knows, Keanu also owns a company called Arc Motorcycles in real life. Mm-hmm. tell me why there was a reference to a character like, yeah, I build motorcycles now. I'm like, oh, like the real actor you're sitting across from? For real? We're really going to do that?
See, that went right over my head. I didn't even know. I know Keanu does a lot of stuff. I didn't know he made motorcycles.
Well, I'm just like kind of stalking
that kind of went over my head.
That's the only reason that I knew that. But come on,
hey,
guys.
Listen, it should be noted. It should be noted right now. Let me see if I can bring this up. It should be noted right now that it's as much as I didn't like it and you didn't like it, it has a solid positive review rating on Rotten Tomatoes right now. And the audience score isn't horrible either. Look, they got 68 and 67% respectively. I mean, I'd love to know A, what they're smoking, and B, what movie they saw, because maybe I can watch them too. But that is the beautiful thing about movies. It's all subjective opinion.
God bless.
But yeah, so it should be noticed. So listen, if you guys are on the fence about seeing this movie,
just jump over the fence and throw yourself over right now. Just get over it.
Go back to your car.
Just jump over the fence.
Just jump right back over.
I'm still going to watch it later, probably.
You should watch
on
it.
HBO Max, though.
Yeah, you can watch it. Yeah, I wouldn't spend time going to the theater for it. But I mean, look, the reality though is we don't like it, but there are clearly people who do. And so if you've been thinking you're excited for this movie, don't be dissuaded from seeing it just because I don't like it. My job is to tell you my opinion. That's it. It's not to tell you what to do. So if you've been excited for this, you owe it to yourself to give it a shot because listen, clearly there are some other people who are liking it. And we are in the minority. But yeah, well, apparently we didn't like the movie so much. Anyway, guys, question is for you. Have you had a chance to see Matrix Resurrections? If so, what did you think about it? Did you not like it like us? Did you love it like some others? Whatever you guys feel about it, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, let's move on to main topic number 3. Kim, what is our third main topic today?
All right, guys, this is coming from Art Creations. Hey, John, I saw a report by Hollywood Reporter saying that Michael Keaton is joining the Batgirl cast as Batman. Michael Keaton is already reprising his role as Batman in the upcoming Flash movie. Batgirl cast already has J.K. Simmons as Jim Gordon. It means Batgirl is probably set in the DCEU. Does this mean they're going to replace Ben Affleck with Michael Keaton as Batman in the DCEU?
All right. Thanks a lot for sending that in, Art Creations. And obviously, look, one of the big things that got everybody excited a little while ago was when news came out that Michael Keaton was going to be reprising his role as Bruce Wayne / Batman in the upcoming Flash movie. There then became some whispers that they might actually use him outside of just the Flash movie. And I remember thinking, I doubt it. I said, it's possible. They could. But, I kind of doubt it. This feels like a one and done thing to me. All right. But the whispers persisted that he could be playing in other things. And now it's not just whispers. It's kind of a done thing. As it is now official, Michael Keaton is going to be appearing in the HBO Max movie Batgirl with J.K. Simmons. And this is significant. This comes to us from the folks over at Deadline who write, Michael Keaton has signed on to reprise his role as Batman in the upcoming superhero pick, Batgirl. Deadline has confirmed. He'll star in the latest feature from Warner Brothers and DC along Leslie Grace, who I'm very excited to see Leslie Grace in that, J.K. Simmons and Brendan Fraser. I'm also very excited to see Brendan Fraser in it. Warner Brothers had no comment on the casting when contacted by Deadline, but the news comes following the announcement that Keaton would again don the cape for Ezra Miller's star The Flash, which is scheduled for release in theaters on November 4th, 2022. And by the way, we were talking about how the John Wick movie and John Wick 4 and Matrix 4 were supposed to come out on the same day in May, so long ago. Yeah. The Flash. Anybody want to guess what the original release date of The Flash was? This Ezra Miller Flash movie?
I want to say 2019.
You're close. 2018. I think it was May 2018 was the original release date.
Oh my God.
For the Ezra Miller Flash movie.
Holy
so
crap.
yeah, maybe we shouldn't worry so much about John Wick being delayed by a year.
So did Justice League really just topple everything? Is that what
I don't know.
Think?
It might have been the whole Batman versus Superman and Justice League thing.
True.
It could have been the fact that they had this merry-go-round of like 3 or 4 different sets of directors and 3 or 4 different sets of writers, and they just kept going through it. So I don't know what it was. But it is now coming. They've got a very, very good director attached to it. And Michael Keaton is going to be in it. This is interesting for a couple of reasons, both of which our viewer kind of pointed out. Number one, we're going to get more Michael Keaton as Batman than we thought. But number two is, well, since J.K. Simmons is playing Commissioner Gordon, so we know this Batgirl movie, which I initially thought might be in the Robert Pattinson Batverse, now we know it's actually in the mainline DCEU. Well, if Michael Keaton is coming as Batman in the mainline DCEU, does that de facto mean that Michael Keaton has replaced, I mean, Ben Affleck wasn't going to come back anyway, but that he has replaced Ben Affleck as the Batman in this cinematic universe? Because, look, we know that a big part of the Flash movie is heavily, heavily, heavily influenced by, if not completely based on, the Flashpoint storyline. Could be that, you know, Ezra Miller's character changes something in the past, and now in the DCU, Michael Keaton Batman.
Oh, wow.
Could be. I mean, whether he's Thomas Wayne, which is a character they used in Flashpoint, or whether he is a different version of Bruce Wayne, now older. But we were talking a little bit about Nathan Fillion is 50. I mean, Michael Keaton, I'm going to think 72. Before I ask Google, you guys want to take a guess how old Michael Keaton is? Kimberly, you want to take a guess before I ask Google?
Yeah, it's an unfair guess because I had already actually looked it
up.
Oh,
you looked it up? Why don't you just tell us? How old is he?
He's 70.
Okay, so he's 70. So him and Bob Iger are the same age.
He's the man.
Right. So I don't know. I mean, hey, look, I just watched him. What was that? Can you look up the name of that action movie he just did? He just did the action movie with Maggie Q.
Okay.
That I saw earlier, earlier this year. He did that action movie with Maggie Q, and I cannot remember the name of it.
It was called The Protege.
The Protege. Okay, not a bad little film. Not great, but not a bad little film. Michael Keaton is rocking the badass attitude in that and kicking ass and looking good doing it. Like, when I realized, oh my gosh, Michael Keaton's about to go into an action sequence. How's this going to look? I mean, he's 70. I mean, how's he going to look? He looked great. He looked great. He was, they made sure the choreography was within limits that we could buy him doing it. But his action sequences in The Protege were wonderful. And I believed him. And I'm thinking, okay, Mr. Keaton, I see you. I can still see you as Batman for a couple more years.
Hey.
So, I mean, I don't know. Let me ask you this, Kim K. First of all, I think it's great that he's going to be in Batgirl. This will create more continuity between it and the Flash movie and probably give us a clear direction about where the DCEU is now heading and what they're doing. I could see him maybe doing more projects as Batman. I don't know. What do you think about this?
Well, first, I'm just freaking excited to see him return as Batman. I'm so excited to see him return. Yeah, he could do more stuff as Batman, and I'm eager to see what they're going to do with this version of Bruce Wayne. So I'm excited for it. But I honestly, whether or not they do more, I'm just so stoked to see him as Batman on the big screen again. He was one of my favorites, even though the villains in those Batman movies were a bit cartoonish. They are not the Christopher Nolan, obviously, but there's something about Michael Keaton as Batman that's just quintessential to my childhood, and so I'm just so excited to see him.
But what do you think about the fundamental question? Do you think he is replaced? Is he now going to be the de facto Batman of the DCEU, replacing Ben Affleck? No, you don't think so?
No. No. I don't think so at all.
Really? Why is that?
I don't think so at all, because we want more from our Batman in terms of the physicality. And like you just said, he's doing really good with the physicality in other films. But I feel like when I saw Robert Pattinson in that trailer whooping ass like that, I was like, that's what I want from Batman. I want to see that hardcore in your face.
So let me ask you, do you think they're going to bring in a new actor to play Batman? Because I don't think Ben Affleck's returning.
We have some time. I believe we've got some time. I believe we have enough time to kind of revisit him and go, wasn't that awesome? And I think Ben Affleck is out, and I think down the line, they'll introduce somebody new.
Okay.
I do, but I think right now, for the few projects we're going to get him in, I mean, 2 projects, that's pretty darn cool. That's actually a lot. I thought it was just, we were going to get a little cameo. Hey, remember me? I'm excited that it's 2 separate projects where we're going to get more of Michael Keaton. That's great. I'm good with that. I'm not like, well, where's my 5 more films? No, I'm good with that. But I don't think he's a permanent replacement. If we ever get the team back together again in terms of the Justice League, I just don't see him doing that.
All right, guys. Question is for you. What do you think about this? Are you excited that Michael Keaton is going to be in Batgirl? Does this elevate your anticipation of seeing it? I'll be honest with you. I'm more interested now in watching Batgirl than I was yesterday. Do you think he could be the new de facto Batman in the DCEU or not? However you guys are thinking about this, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, let's move on to main topic number 4. Kim, what is our 4th main topic today?
All right, this comes from Dallas Cowboys for Life. Hey, John. Okay, so no one liked Iron Fist, but almost all of us liked Jessica Henwick's Colleen Wing. Did you see her interview where she confirms the reason she decided to be in Matrix instead of Shang-Chi was because she was afraid that if she was in Shang-Chi, it would kill any chances of her returning as Colleen Wing. But if they were even considering her for Shang-Chi, wouldn't that have meant they don't plan on bringing her back anyway?
All right. Thanks a lot for saying that in, man. And yes, first of all, the really interesting story here. So Jessica Henwick, who played Colleen Wing in the pretty much universally despised Iron Fist show, pretty much universally despised, but also pretty much universally everybody liked her and her character of Colleen Wing. And a lot of people even speculated Netflix may do, I mean, this was years ago. At the time, people speculated Netflix may actually do a Colleen Wing show, because the response to her character was so good. Now, we've seen her pop up in a couple of other things. Things are going so well, she gets offered, the opportunity to audition for 2 separate, big, high-profile films. She gets offered the opportunity to come in and audition for Matrix Resurrections, a new Matrix movie, or a new Marvel film called Shang-Chi. Now, there's never been any official confirmation about which role she was up for. She clearly was not up for the Katie role played by Awkwafina because she said in one interview she was invited to come in and do a test read with Simu Liu. Awkwafina was actually cast in Shang-Chi before Simu Liu was. So that means she wasn't going in to read for Katie, which means more likely she was probably going in for Shang-Chi's sister, Ziling. I can't remember what the sister's name was. But at any rate, and I loved who they got to play it. But so apparently that was probably going to be the character she was offered. However, apparently, according to the reports that I read, Warner Brothers and Disney both told her, you can't audition for both. You got to pick which one you want to audition for, which kind of sucks because neither of them were guaranteeing her the job. Like, so she could turn down the Matrix Resurrections audition, go and audition for Shang-Chi, and then be told, no, you didn't get the role for Shang-Chi. But at any rate, so that news is about a month old, that she kind of had opportunity to go in and audition at a high level for both of those movies. And she ultimately went with Matrix Resurrections. But now we're finding out today one of the main reasons that she chose to go over to Matrix Resurrections, and that's because she knew that if she did come over and play it, it completely shuts the door on any possibility of maybe her being able to come back to the MCU as Colleen Wing. This comes to us from a report that I got out of Joe Blow where it says the following. Jessica said this. Jessica Henwick, who played Colleen Wing, she says, that definitely did come up in the conversation. If I did Shang-Chi, I would effectively be putting Colleen to bed. It wasn't the main factor, but it definitely came up in the conversation. I love Colleen Wing. She changed my life. Of course, if I was given the opportunity to revisit her, I would, but I just don't know how likely that is. Charlie Cox knew about that opportunity years ago. He already knew it was happening. I think I would have heard it by now if there was any plans with Colleen. This is really interesting to me on 2 fronts. On the one hand, I think it's super interesting about how still heartfeltly attached that Jessica is to that character of Colleen Wing. Like, maybe the show wasn't beloved, but she knows that was the show that put her on the map for a lot of fans. And so she still feels this incredible connection to the character, and I love that. The other interesting thing to me, anecdotally, is that just another confirmation that the MCU and Kevin Feige does not consider Netflix canon? Because if he was seriously going to bring her over to play a completely different character, and remember, this isn't like Gemma Chan, who, yes, she was in Captain Marvel before she was in Eternals, but she was totally in caked out makeup and unrecognizable as Gemma Chan. So, I mean, that's a different thing altogether. To bring her over, that's basically Kevin Feige saying, yeah, the Netflix universe isn't relevant to ours. It's not the same thing. Just like the same way in WandaVision, when they brought out the Darkhold, and it was a completely different book than the Darkhold they had in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That was Kevin Feige's way of saying, yeah, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is not connected to our MCU. They pretended they were connected to us, but we are not connected to that at all. This is a different thing. It almost feels like the fact that he was willing to bring in Colleen Wing is him saying, yeah, the Netflix stuff is not in continuity with us, or else he would have had to go in a different direction. He also already did that with, why am I freezing on two-time Academy, Mahershala Ali. He already did that with Mahershala Ali, saying, okay, yeah, he was Cottonmouth, but since Netflix isn't really connected to our universe, he can also be Blade. He can be Blade. So I find that interesting at the same time. Now, look, do I think she made the wrong decision? Not necessarily. Because, in as much that I did not like The Matrix, she acquitted herself very well in that movie.
She was the only thing that I liked.
Yeah, I mean, there were a couple of things I liked. I mean, I like Keanu. I like Carrie-Anne Moss, and I also liked. I don't want to say that, might be a spoiler, but the General. I'll just say the General. I like the General, but she acquitted herself. Jessica acquitted herself very, very well in that movie, and would she have acquitted herself as well if she played Shang-Chi's sister? Not sure. Maybe she would have. Maybe she wouldn't have. We'll never know. But she was a standout to me in Matrix 4. So I don't think it was a bad decision at all. So I just thought this was a very, very interesting story. Anyway, guys, the question is for you. What do you think about this? Jessica Henwick, basically one of her things was, but if I do Shang-Chi, that permanently means I can never be back as Colleen Wing. Interesting choice. And what do you think about her choice to choose doing Matrix 4 over Shang-Chi? Whatever you guys think about that, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, let's move on to main topic number 5. We had a lot of topics today. Kim, what is our 5th main topic today?
Okay, guys, this comes from Jay McFly. Hi, John, Kim, and Ray. Empire is reporting that both Michael Shannon and Anja Trawa have joined the cast of The Flash, reprising their roles as General Zod and Faora from Man of Steel. I loved both their original performances, so I'm really happy to see them return to the DCEU, even if just for one movie. Do you think this increases the chances of seeing Henry Cavill as Superman in The Flash as well? Thanks, and keep on bringing the filthy.
There are certain times when I wake up in the morning and read news that puts a smile on my face, puts a rainbow of love in my heart,
rainbow,
and a skip in my step.
That's why you were skipping.
Michael Shannon as General Zod.
Love him.
Is one of the best comic book villains we've ever had. I'm not saying he's the top. I'm not saying he's the top. But when you're going to have a conversation about them, he is a beautifully complex character. He is a villain who, before Thanos, was a villain of immense power, yes, but a villain that totally believed in the righteousness of his cause. At the end of the day, General Zod was a guy who really his only desire was to save his people. That was it. Something he was programmed from birth to do as a soldier, as a protector of Krypton. All he wanted was to save his people. And there's a beautiful scene in Man of Steel. After Kal-El destroys the Codex and everything, and now Krypton's future is officially lost. The way Michael Shannon plays that as Zod, the brokenness, the pain, and the loss of all meaning to his life. Michael Shannon played that with such perfection that when he turned then to Kal-El and said, I'm paraphrasing, I got nothing left to live for except to kill every single human being on this planet. And I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to kill everybody. And you believed him because it came from that place of pain. And for that, I loved him. And then was his Lieutenant Faora. Faora was awesome in that. She only had a few lines, whatever, but she was a winner in this show. Her initial fight with Superman, and it was so good.
She's terrifying.
She
terrified me throughout the whole film. Her and Michael Shannon, they seem to me like if Superman was gonna, if anyone could kill him, it would be them too.
Yeah, right.
That's terrifying to me. Just whenever they came on screen, I was like, ooh, like I didn't want Superman to run into them. I didn't want him to run into them 1-on-1 or 2-on-1 or any on one.
And when she's talking, I can't remember if I can't remember specifically she was talking to Cal or if she was talking to one of the generals, but when one of the most terrifying lines is, for everyone you save, we will kill 1 million more. And I just remember when she said that line, so cold.
Cold as ice.
I believed it. For everyone you save, we will kill 1 million more. It's like, oh my God, it is Armageddon. Anyway, love these guys. Good news. News comes out that it is now coming from Warner Brothers itself. This isn't Gus's movie reviews, gasstation.fart. This is coming from Warner Brothers that we are going to see them in The Flash. This comes to us from our friends over at Slash Film, who write the following. Fans can look forward to seeing none other than Michael Shannon's villainous General Zod, and I've never known how to pronounce her name, Ange True's formidable second-in-command Faora, making an unexpected return in The Flash. This intriguing development comes straight from Warner Brothers themselves, as their 2022 movie preview on the official website includes a rundown of all the studio's most anticipated projects, including The Flash. First, the brief tease reiterates the synopsis of the film. Ezra Miller stars as Barry Allen, a.k.a. The Flash, who pushes the limits of his superpowers in the DC superhero's first ever standalone feature film. Standalone. Anyway, that seems straightforward enough, but the really newsworthy item relates to the cast list. Ezra Miller, Ron Livingston, Michael Keaton, Kiersey Clemens, Michael Shannon, Anjay True, Sasha Cayley, and Michael Keaton. Notice that they mentioned Michael Keaton twice. That's not a typo. They actually mentioned Michael Keaton twice, which has, of course, got everybody buzzing. Are there going to be 2 versions of the Michael Keaton Batman in this movie?
Why?
Are we going to have like 3 or 4 Batmen running around punching invisible lizards?
So nice.
I don't know.
Jr.?
So nice you had to say it twice.
So, I mean, maybe it is just a typo. I don't know. But
yeah, it probably is a typo.
Probably is a typo. But still,
or
okay.
it could be some Michael or some Keaton.
Or another guy named Michael Keaton. Yeah. They went out and got some guy from a 7-Eleven. Wait a minute, your name's Michael Keaton? Want to be in our movie?
Maybe they meant to put Michael Rappaport.
The
most
Michael
evil. I don't know.
Michael Rappaport.
Oh my God, the most evil. Where were you going to
I don't know.
with
The
that?
most evil commander of whatever.
I mean, still, one of my most fun episodes of movie news I ever did was with Michael Rappaport. He was a guest on our show a couple of times. He was so funny on that.
But man, the censor.
Anyway.
The censors need
Oh
to be
yeah,
up
the
with
censor
it.
buttons would have to be beep, beep. Anyway, listen, I'm not going to lie to you. I love this because I love Faora, but again, to me, that General Zod is one of the best comic book villains we've ever had. Again, I'm not saying he's the best. I'm just saying he's up there. And to bring that in is fantastic. But I'll tell you the other reason it makes me excited. Because I do believe. Now, I've said for a while that I think there is a chance. I wouldn't put money on it. I think there's a chance that old HC over here, who's still wearing the Spider-Man mask, he's in the Spider-Man spirit right now.
Yeah.
Old Henry Cavill back here could maybe pop up, because when they were showing those first bits of concept art, they were showing us a lot of stuff in it, but there was one character they kept blacking out and not letting us see. They were letting us see the Michael Keaton Batman. They were letting us see Ezra Miller's Flash, but there was a character they were always blocking out. And my speculation is maybe, I have no insider information, I'm just guessing, maybe that could be Henry Cavill. Obviously, I have nothing to back that up with, but it's a guess. Michael Shannon, both General Zod and Faora being in this movie, I think only increases the possibility of that. Again, I'm not saying this definitively means, do not misquote me. I'm not saying definitively Henry Cavill.
Oh, you'll be misquoted.
Do you want to put on it?
No, none. I don't.
He doesn't feel that.
Your girl's coming with numbers.
I'm just guessing. I don't feel strongly that this at all. Like if I had to bet $5 on it, I'd bet he's probably not in the movie.
Let's get our coin, right?
But but I think there is a chance. There is a chance.
There is a chance. If they really blacked out somebody in there, it could be Michael Keaton or just another Flash.
Well, no, they've already shown Michael Keaton.
I mean, not Michael Keaton. Henry Cavill.
They were showing Michael Keaton. They showed Flash. They showed Supergirl. They showed all the. But then there was a character they kept blocking out.
It has to be.
And now that we know.
It's our lizard moment.
It's our lizard moment.
Our lizard moment.
So again, I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying I choose to be the eternal Henry Cavill optimist and say I'm going to give it a solid 30% chance that Henry Cavill's going to be in The Flash.
And
still under 50.
Who else could it be then, too? Also,
that's a good question.
Maybe the Manhunter, since he made an appearance.
It could. I mean, but would anybody care? Would you have to hide Manhunter?
If Green Lantern released
Green Lantern could be it
before this movie comes out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Kazoo, the great Kazoo from the Flintstones.
Oh yeah, Mr.
Mixelplix.
Yeah, Mixelplix.
Mr. Mixelplix could
Mixelplix.
maybe be part of it.
Darkseid could have joined the force.
That Darkseid's on the Justice League now. it's like what is it? It's like Thanos in What If, where he joined the Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, maybe it's one of those things. I don't know. Look, I choose to be hopeful. I'm going to be hopeful. I'm going to say 30%. Now, I don't know. Kim, you hear this? It's now not a question. Zod and Faora are going to be in it. What do you think the chances are that maybe Henry Cavill's Superman shows up?
I think he'll definitely be in it.
Oh, you're saying definitely. I like the way you're thinking. Please tell me more.
Definitely. I think he'll be in it. I got that chill in my bones.
Okay.
But no, I think he will because you know what? I all the drama behind Henry Cavill, is he, isn't he? And we don't like him. You know what? He was great. The people love him. And most of all, John Campea loved him.
Yes, that's right.
And this is a perfect place to do it. What better place to do it? I think he's definitely going to be in there. Oh, he's going to go hug the statue, guys.
Oh, my God.
John, stop hugging it.
Oh, man. It's not nighttime yet, John.
No, Henry Cavill had something he wanted to say. He's bling. Yes, I am in this movie. I don't know. You heard it straight from the horse's mouth. Henry is saying himself that he is in this movie.
That was a definitive nod.
We've taken the Spider-Man mask off now, so I'll put that over there somewhere. But
whatever they blacked out in the photos, do you remember if they looked like they're fighting against it or it was just
no? It looked like it was with them.
Oh, okay.
And now it could. Some people are speculating it could have been another Flash, but they've already put out a promo image of Ezra Miller as multiple versions of Flash standing beside himself. So why would they be blacking that out but still showing us in another image, right?
So tell you.
I'm you know me, I'm to a fault optimistic.
I'm so on board with you, John, about I need to see Henry Cavill as Superman at least one more time.
Yeah.
You know, at least one more time.
He's not done.
They just have to do it.
All right, guys, question is for you. I'm obviously very excited about this news. What do you guys think about this? Number one, that the great Michael Shannon is going to be back. We got Zod and Faora going to be there. And do you think this may increase the possibility that maybe we could see a Henry Cavill appearance as Superman? Whatever you guys are thinking, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. And by the way, we won't make it a part of the segment, Ray, when you do the segments, but why don't we make this a little bit of a let's make this a poll. Let's do a poll here, shall we?
Poll time.
Here it is, poll time. Will Henry Cavill appear in the Flash movie? It's a simple question. For those of you guys watching live, I just put it up into the live chat. You guys should see it pop up there now. It is there now. Simple question for you guys. Will Henry Cavill appear in the Flash movie? Do you think he's going to be in there or not? We'll come back over and check on that in just a little bit. All right, guys. For now, let's move over. You know what? Let's do it in reverse order today.
Okay.
let's do the questions first today, and then we'll go over and take the live comments that people have sent in. So
let's do it.
Let's get things started over here with the live questions. Once again, if you guys want a live question in on the show, simply go down into the description of this video, click on the tip link, or enter it in manually at streamelements.com/movieblogtv/tip. Your question will be read on this show or an upcoming companion video if we deem your question appropriate to be used on our show. And of course, you'll be supporting our channel at the same time. And all of us here, thank you guys for your support. Okay, let's get over to the questions. Kim, what is our first question today?
All right, this comes from a very sophisticated name. D. Snuts says, if you haven't seen the Chapek All Along Agatha parody from WDWNT, I highly suggest you take the minute and a half and check it out.
Now, I have not,
All
but I heard you watching it earlier today. You watched it. Was it any good?
I thought it was cute. It was cute.
It was Chapek all along. Okay, I got to watch it. So I know D's nuts. I have not seen it, but I will go watch it after the show is over today.
He got what he wanted.
Wait, yeah.
He got what he wanted from that name.
Ray got the giggles from it.
All right, what's next?
Henry Merton says, I thought episode 6 was decent, but damn, Vincent D'Onofrio gave the worst performance I've seen in any MCU show or movie. I haven't seen Daredevil. Does he act the same way in it as well? He's still a good actor. Just thought he had a really off day.
It's important to note he performed the character like he said in that comment. He tried to bring the same emotion. He tried to bring that same stuff to it. He tried to make him as similar to the Netflix Daredevil as possible. The problem wasn't his performance. The problem was the writing. That was the problem. It was what they had him doing and what they had him saying. I honestly have personally no problems with his performance of it. It's totally what they had him doing and saying.
And wearing.
At the same time. So, yeah, that was my issue with it. All right, what's next?
Dan Ketchum says, so do you think Armie Hammer will quietly accept his reduced role on Death on the Nile, or will he bite the hand that feeds him?
Nobody said he has a reduced role. They just cut him out of the trailers, which is what you got to do at this point. So I don't think they probably edited him out. Look, Disney actually said we really can't do any more post-production because the expense, and with COVID and our other production schedules, we just don't have the bandwidth. So I personally don't think they've cut him out of the movie much. They probably just cut him a lot out of the trailers. All right, what's next?
GM says, gotta vent really quick about my experience seeing No Way Home. Don't worry, no spoilers here. Just about my theater experience. If it wasn't for the movie being so great and the audience reactions, this would have been one of my worst experiences ever. The movie was at 7:50 p.m. Previews didn't start until 7:58. Previews took about 25 to 30 minutes. Finally, after all this waiting, the movie is about to begin. I see the Sony logo appear and the audience claps. And Ghostbusters starts playing.
Good movie.
The theater took about 10 minutes to finally get it fixed. On top of all this, the group in the aisle across from me were vaping and probably laced with weed. And I really don't care if someone vapes or smokes weed, but I do have an issue when you affect my and my wife's experience, because the smell was so strong it caused my wife, who has a long history of migraines, to get a headache due to the smell.
Okay, first of all, let's start with that part. That should not happen in a movie. That's not allowed. All right. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with you going to a theater staff person saying, hey, we got people vaping in the theater, and it's their responsibility to come and do something about that. And that is not out of bounds. I mean, yeah, the old adage, snitches get stitches, but these fuckheads are ruining your paid movie going experience. Fuck them. Yeah. You go tell a theater, because you're not the only one having your experience ruined. Everybody else in the theater is having their, well, maybe some are having a good time, but there's probably a lot of other people in that theater having their experiences distracted from or ruined because of those assholes. So you go and tell somebody in the theater to come and take care of it. And who knows? Maybe these guys innocently thought, we're not allowed to smoke, but vapes are probably allowed. Maybe they just thought, oh yeah, we're probably just allowed to do this. Well, then they need to have a theater person come to them and tell them you're not allowed to do that. I think that would have been totally in bounds. And really, I think that is incumbent upon you as a moviegoer to do that. Like, look after your own experience. And if somebody else is ruining it, you get a theater member involved and they'll take care of it. If not, go to the theater afterwards and say, you guys allowed a bunch of people to be smoking vapes in there, and it totally ruined my experience. I'd like to get my money back. And I tell you right now, they'll probably give you your money back. As far as the other technical issues, listen, there were probably 50 to 75,000 screenings of Spider-Man No Way Home.
Wow.
Over that week, right? Something's going to go wrong. Something's got to go wrong in some of those things, and it sucks. The important thing is they finally got your movie going, but I'm really sorry to hear about the assholes in the screening there. But again, you need to be proactive about that. Go and grab a theater member and let them know. You got guys smoking in the auditorium, and they'll take care of it. All right, what's next?
Not Kevin Feige says, you said Professor X would be in No Way Home.
Time out. Time out. No, I did not. No, I did not.
The throat he went.
And people wonder why. John, sometimes you make a point and you repeat it 3 or 4 times. Yeah, because this happens. I did not say Professor X was in No Way Home.
John, you're never misquoted.
I once speculated, I wonder if this could be a kind of a outside the park possibility. Blah, blah, blah. And I think maybe there's a chance. I never said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm breaking here right now. Professor X is in No Way Home. I never said that. Anyway, please continue.
I can't believe you're actually arguing that.
Well, what if you were still right, but instead of No Way Home, it's the next multiverse of shenanigans?
Listen, at some point, Professor X is going to be in the MCU. At some point. So, but everybody thinks it's going to be every single movie coming out. The X-Men, listen, again, we go back to it, but everybody was convinced that the X-Men were going to pop up in Infinity War. Why? Because Thanos had 3 scratches across his face, which can only be explained by Wolverine scratching him. That was everybody's thing, right? And since then, every single new MCU thing is coming out. Oh, that's where they're going to bring in the X-Men. Now this is going to be where they bring in the X-Men. Oh, the X-Men are coming in now. And eventually it's going to be true. Eventually it'll be true. Could that be Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness? Maybe. Because listen, Kevin Feige said, I've got my 5-year... When they took over Fox, Kevin Feige said, I've got my 5-year plan and I'm not bringing them in until my 5-year plan is done. And nobody believed him. And I kept telling people, like when they're 2 years in, Feige said it's a 5-year plan. No, he's going to bring him in now. But guess what? By the time Doctor Strange 2 comes out, getting damn close to that 5 years. I mean, it feels weird to think about it that way, but it's been a minute since Disney took over Fox, or at least since they announced the takeover of Fox. So, I mean, we are getting close. At some point, and maybe that could be it. All right, what's next?
William Bang says, hey, John, I've never seen any Sony or Marvel Spidey stuff, and I'm ready to start. I love Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel, and Thor, but have no interest in What If or Hawkeye. So which film should I start with? Thanks, and happy holidays, John and crew.
If you're looking at just getting caught up as quickly as you can, the best place to start is with Homecoming, because that'll start you with where we're at. If you want to be more a totalist, if you will, go right back to the 2002 Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie and watch these. Spider-Man 2002, Spider-Man 2, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man 2, The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield. So you can skip Spider-Man 3, go right to The Amazing Spider-Man. Then you can skip Amazing Spider-Man 2 and go right into Homecoming. And then at some point watch Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse, because that could be the best Spider-Man movie. That or Spider-Man 2 are the best Spider-Man movies of all time. And then you move on. So you watch all of them. You can just drop out Spider-Man 3 and The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and I think you'd be good. All right, what's next?
Peter Pacheco says, just got the text about John Wick 4 announcement for March 24th, 2023. What are you looking for to happen in this new movie? Happy holidays to all the crew at the JC Show.
Thank you so much for that, Peter. I don't play the game of this is what I want them to do in this movie. No, I just, hey guys, you're making the movie, make the movie you want to make, and I can't wait to enjoy it. Just so I don't bring that into it. But what do I think we're going to get out of it? Oh, we're going to get some damn good gung fu. We're going to get some John Wickisms.
Yeah.
So I mean, just give me more John Wick. Just keep doing what you're doing, boys.
But also, one name, guys, Donnie Yen. Let's go.
Yep.
Let's go. I can't wait to see him in this franchise.
Oh, yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I can't wait to see him in anything. But yeah, putting him in this franchise is great. And who was it? Oh, yeah. I mean, somebody wasn't it just Destin was talking about that he'd like to get Jackie Chan?
Yeah.
Into Shang-Chi too. Which would be interesting too. I don't know. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. All right, what's next?
Anonymous says, I think I've seen Bob Iger in a regular t-shirt and not his usual suit once. The man looks like he lifts weights. I think I even saw a tattoo on his arm once, but could be wrong about that part. LOL.
Again, let me just say, I have seen him when he's taken off the jacket and had like a very form-fitting shirt. And let me just see if I can get this. I'm not sure I can, but it, like we joked about the other day, but it totally reminded me of Vince McMahon. And I forget now, but how old is Vince McMahon again, Ray? Can you?
Oh, I don't know.
Can you look it up quick?
Yeah.
Do a quick look up of how old is Vince McMahon now? Vince McMahon is like, he's well into his 60s. I mean, he might be in his 70s now. I can't remember. But do you got an age on him?
His age is 76.
Okay, so he's 76, right?
Wow.
He's 76.
Oh my God.
And so I remember when I saw Bob Iger, all I could think about, now Bob Iger did not have his shirt off. And I'm sure Bob Iger has done some less steroids than Vince McMahon has. But maybe a lot less. But I just remember looking at Bob Iger and he's like, damn, there's the next Vince McMahon and stuff like that. Yeah, the dude looked really good, man. He looked really, really good. All right, what's next?
Jack Lumber says, with everything going on and the huge box office, when will Spider-Man spoiler be allowed?
Sooner than normal movies. Like when Endgame came out and everybody had seen it by the end of the first week. Anybody who was interested in Endgame had seen it by the end of the first week. So we kind of lifted our spoiler moratorium a little bit early for that. Maybe sometime next week. But look, the reality is the pandemic is causing a lot of markets to shut down their movie theaters again. And so it's not going to be as soon as we did for Endgame, but it won't be the normal length because normally we wait for a movie to come out in home video before we go into real details talking on the show. So give it another couple of weeks. Let's get to mid-January and see where we're at. All right, what's next?
Sergeant Ward says, since Death on the Nile is finally going to get released, do you think Searchlight will finally release that Taika Waititi Michael Fassbender movie Armie Hammer is in? I will assume that Hammer will not be in the trailer at all.
So I think that one's called Next Goal Wins. And I am very excited to see it. You know what they might do? They might wait and see what happens with Death on the Nile. They might wait and see, okay, is there any controversy? Is anybody making a stink about this? Is the public in an outcry that Armie Hammer's in it and blah, blah, blah? They might take a wait and see approach. So I don't know. That's my best guess right now, though. All right, what's next?
Garden Variety Vagabond says, John, Laura is confirmed as Agent 19, a.k.a. Mockingbird, based on the back of her watch, and therefore Adrian Palacki's Bobby version in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show is not canon in the MCU. I bet you enjoyed that fact.
It's not, first of all, it's just reaffirming what we already know. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is not canon with the MCU. They constantly tried to act like they were. They would always reference the MCU, but the MCU never referenced them. It's like when you think you're dating that girl, but she never returns your calls. It's like, you can talk about her all you want. She ain't talking about you, buddy. Like, it's just, wow. It is a one-way relationship. It is not working out in your favor. And we already saw that with the Darkhold and other things. But yes, with the whole thing on the back of the wristwatch confirming that she's Mockingbird, she's Agent 19. It's just another confirmation of Kevin Feige saying, yeah, that's not MCU. It's just not. And so that's just them doing that again. So there's that. All right, what's next?
Hoops on NY says, I thoroughly enjoyed Hawkeye, second favorite MCU show behind WandaVision, but the main thing I learned is that directors Burt and Bertie should have directed the whole thing. They directed episodes 3, 4, and 5.
Which were the episodes that I liked. I liked episodes 3, 4, and 5. However, I wouldn't just write it to the fact that they were the directors. It's the writing. No matter, even if they directed episodes 1 and 2, it's still the same script. Even if they directed episode 6, it's the same script. So, and in television is different than movies. In television, the writers have the power. In movies, the director is the final buck stops here person. Yeah, obviously he's got his producers above him, but when it comes to making the movie, The director is the buck stops here person. They're the one who makes all the calls and blah, blah, blah. In television, it's opposite. The writers are the one that have all the power. And the directors are in there to serve the writer's vision. So I don't know if it would have made a big difference, but it certainly would be interesting to see. All right, what's next?
Garden Variety Vagabond says, man, John, I'm not impressed with the writing of Tanner Bean. Hawkeye never seems to fully take itself seriously enough. Tracksuit Mafia had a great comedy, but would Fisk use them? Really? All 500 of them? Dang. Where did they park all those trucks in New York City?
Yeah, okay, so does everybody on the planet agree that the Kingpin in Netflix would never be associated with the Tracksuit Mafia? For those of you who have seen Kingpin, honestly, now just be honest with yourself. Just be honest with yourself. Is there any reality in which that Kingpin employs the Tracksuit Mafia? I'll wait. We don't have to wait. We know the answer to that. The answer is no. So, I mean, yeah, the writing, good. Look, again, I don't want to trash on Hawkeye. I think there were elements about Hawkeye that were quite good. It's just that overall, yeah, I was kind of disappointed by it. But by the way, I do want to bring up that the results for the poll are in about whether you guys think Henry Cavill will appear in the Flash movie. 66% of you guys say yes, he will. 34% of you are saying no, he won't. So thank you for guys participating in that. All right, what is next?
All right, Garden Variety Vagabond says, John, an expert archer, Lars Anderson, was interviewed by IGN on the archery used by Clint. He tore his shooting apart, especially that the bow has no bend and therefore power, and that he draws the arrow with one hand and places the arrow on the opposite side. Let me go to the second one. He does give some kudos on things done well, but laughed when he mentioned that he wore arm protectors in an earlier movie. These are for beginners, in case you shoot poorly and graze your arm, which should deflect the arrow's aim.
Okay, here's why I don't give a shit what Lars Anderson says about the archery in Hawkeye. It's because of this.
He ain't jumping out of plane.
Yeah, like, has there ever been an archer in real life that is 1/8 as good of an archer as Hawkeye is in the MCU? No. The answer is no. It's superhuman. It's beyond anything real. This reminds me of the criticism. I used to laugh at this because in Batman versus Superman, and as we got into Justice League as well, there would be people who would criticize the way Ezra Miller's Flash ran. Because Ezra Miller has this kind of weird, like kind of run style, right? And I'd hear these people go, oh, that's not how you run. That's not how real runners run. And I would ask them, really? Please tell me, how do runners who break the speed of light run? Can you show me? Give me an example of how runners who while jogging can break the sound barrier. Show me how those runners run. Oh, there are no people who can actually run fast enough to break the sound barrier, let alone break the speed of light and travel through time? Oh, so you can't say how somebody like that would run. Okay, so how about you shut the fuck up? So I mean, like, does he look silly running? Does Ezra Miller look a little silly running like this? Yes, he does. But I reject this whole stupid, oh, well, that's not how a real runner would run. Oh, the real runner who can break the speed of sound and light. Okay, thanks. So that reminds me of this. It's like, well, an archer says that that's not really how. Okay, show me an archer who is actually as good as this make-believe fictional archer who is 8 times better than any human archer has ever been in history. Show me how that guy would shoot. So who cares? Anyway, that's my take.
Okay, well.
Sorry, this reminded me of the most random bit of information. You know Gina Davis.
Oh, I love Gina Davis.
Did you know that she was going to go to the Olympics for archery?
I did not. I shouldn't be surprised. That woman can do anything.
Long time ago on the Today Show. Random fact. Random. Just
real
random.
life Katniss.
Yes. So let's ask her how Hawkeye should really be shooting, okay?
All right, what's next?
Garden Variety Vagabond says, John, interesting that episode 3, 4, and 5 of Hawkeye was the best. There were 2 sets of directors. Rhys Thomas directed 1, 2, and 6, and Bert and Bertie directed 3, 4, and 5. Is this a coincidence? I generally blame the writing, but did they elevate/fix it?
And that's hard to say when I haven't read the script, right? It's hard to say whether or not, hey, listen, the scripts for episodes 3, 4, and 5 just happen to be stronger than the rest. Maybe it was all the same, and maybe those directors just found ways to give a little bit more life to it, a little bit more punch to it, a little bit more personality to it. Maybe. It's hard to say, though, without being there. It's like impossible to say without being there. It's like if you eat, like, say, a delicious, I don't know, cake, for all I know. Delicious
all cake is delicious.
Well, first of all, that's great.
Hold on, man. There is no not good cake. Come on.
It's delicious.
You show me a nasty cake, and then you win. But all cake is good.
Cake is delicious. There's the next T-shirt, everybody. Rayora, all cake is delicious. So here's the thing. Listen, you eat a delicious cake, right? You take a bite and it's like, oh, this is delectable and this is fantastic. And you find out, well, there are actually 2 pastry chefs that made it. Well, there's no way to know which one contributed more to the deliciousness of the cake, right? You just won't be able to know unless you were back there and saw it happen. So I don't know, but it is an interesting thing. It is pretty coincidental that the best episodes were all directed by one set of directors and the not so good episodes were written by others. So, I mean, maybe it's more than just a coincidence. All right, what's next?
All right, Garden Variety Vagabond says, John, follow up. Does the director of these choose how many thugs and bad guy clothes?
A lot of that'll come from the script. Like the script will say, this is what the atmosphere of it's supposed to be. This is whatever. Now, yeah, then the director will have some specific choices to make. So that could be part of it. All right, what's next?
Jonathan says, is it crazy to ask for a Tracksuit Mafia Disney Plus show in the vein of a Three Stooges comedy? Just one season of goofiness with likable characters, maybe 5 to 6 episodes long. I'd watch that more than Echo.
I would too.
Yeah, me too. They're my favorite of that Hawkeye show.
Bro.
They were like the lowest street level gang you could ever hire, and they were perfect. They're just bumbling around.
Seriously, here's what I would watch it. I would watch. It's like after the fiasco of getting their asses handed to them by Hawkeye and a little girl. to them, right? In their heads, in their minds. Kingpin, I mean, Kazi is now dead, who was kind of their de facto head guy. And Kingpin is now kind of in the wind or whatever. Maybe those main guys, including the one who threatened to rip out Kate Bishop's throat, right? They say, what are we doing? What are we doing? And they decide from now on, Tracksuit Mafia, help people.
They start a soup kitchen.
And they try to become like a gang that actually kind of like Guardian Angels, right? They try to become a gang that like helps people in the neighborhood, right? Bro. And they call themselves Bro. I don't know. And then they take on another low-level street gang that's trying to hurt the neighborhood. And it's about them saying, we're going to take on a new direction. They got inspired by the Maroon 5 concert or something. And I would watch that show. I would totally watch that show. Just call the show Bro. Just call it that.
Dude.
Disney Plus's Bro. And I watch it.
That would be so... Bro.
I totally watch that show. And I'd certainly watch it before I would watch an Echo show at this point. So I don't know. This is
oh my God, you
all
guys
right, what's
killing
next?
me today. Matt McClure says, John, you're the man.
Thank you.
Also, just got to say, Hawkeye is my favorite of the Disney Plus Marvel shows. Loved it. Stoked for the street level heroes coming in. Can't wait to see what Fisk does next. Loved KB, Yelena, and Echo. Clint rules. Bring more on.
I'm glad you like. I mean, obviously, look, at the end of the day, I didn't hate Hawkeye, but I didn't like it. So it didn't quite work for me. But that's the beautiful thing about these shows, man. They all hit us differently. And if it worked for you and you enjoyed it and you were entertained, that's the most important thing. So thanks for sharing your thoughts, man. All right, what's next?
First of all, I need to say, in terms of your relationship to your viewers, great minds think alike. Jonathan says, shit, Now that I think about it, a Tracksuit Mafia, TSM for short, show would be dope. Get the funniest writer like Lord and Miller to craft the entire series. I can see the first episode title.
Bro.
I mean, it could be about them trying to be a legitimate. Did you write this in?
I did not.
A legitimate gang while fighting more badass gangs in New York. I can see it having the most likable of characters like the ones in Hawkeye and some heart. I don't know. I may be crazy to think it could work. It's just, why Echo? She's an interesting character and I'm interested in seeing where she goes, but having her own series, not yet deserved. Not gonna lie, Tracksuit Mafia was more interesting than Echo, LOL, but whatever. Hawkeye was serviceable, and it made me realize one thing. I'll watch anything MCU puts out except maybe What If, because What If is irrelevant and childish, save for a few episodes. One more here. Guess I'm in the minority of thinking episode 6 of Hawkeye stuck the landing for me. Like Wonder Woman 1984, I like this episode way more than everyone else, I guess. Don't know if I'm judging stories correctly, but I'll stand by my thumbs for episode 6 for Hawkeye.
And so you should. And by the way, I also am not a fan of What If, but we can't call What If terribly irrelevant because the Doctor Strange 2 trailer just showed us that it may not be all that irrelevant. It should be irrelevant.
These guys in the chat are saying it should be called Agents of Bro. And you know what? No.
They win.
Let's go back.
Agents of Bro.
Maybe it won't be a series, but they should do some shorts on YouTube or the Marvel channel. Just like
the way they did the Thor ones with his roommate.
Because the whole show, people, we say we like it, but then when we get 30 minutes of that, will we still like it every week? Maybe I would, but maybe shorts or whatever. And the whole thing is like, they're always trying to win, but they don't win with their plan. They win by accident.
Like Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, by accident. That would be a funny show.
Agents of Bro.
But you can address Jonathan Campea's question now. He obviously wrote that in.
Obviously.
I am totally against. I think fan petitions are useless. I have no interest in them. I would start a petition for Agents of Bro.
Agents of Bro.
Agents of
I love it.
Do it. Make it happen.
All right. What would Bro stand for? Bad Russian something?
Bad Russian organization.
Organization.
Brotherly Russian organization.
Yo, let's just
orphans.
do it.
Bad Russian orphans.
Let's just do it. Just give us the money. We'll do it.
All right. What's next?
All right, you guys. Jonathan says, holy shit, I figured it out, John. I know what I want to see for the next MCU show. Tracksuit Mafia, Bros versus the LARPers. Make it happen, Marvel.
Yeah. After that, I am not really all that big on the LARPers, so I can do without the LARPer part, though. All right, what's next?
Jonathan says, the theme song for a Tracksuit Mafia show would be a modified Save the City from Rogers the Musical. Just swap out or edit out a few lyrics and toss in bro every other line. Sorry, I'm thinking too much about a show that will never happen, but it's fun to imagine.
Now,
right?
if you're going to do an Agents of Bro show,
oh my God,
this theme song has to be, it's an overused song, I understand and I admit, but the theme song has to be, who sings it? Is it Pat Benatar who sings, I need a hero? It's Pat Benatar who sings that.
So.
I need a hero.
I know
but he's got to be tough and he's got to be strong and he's got to be fresh from the fight. I need a hero. Like, that's got to be the Agents of Bro song. That has to be it.
And then they're running in slow motion and trip.
Oh my God.
I need it.
We are writing this show for you, Feige.
You're welcome, Disney.
Come on. All right, what's next?
Jonathan says, okay, when I watched the Rogers musical in Hawkeye.
Oh my God, I got to interrupt you. Because somebody in the live chat said, no, the song's got to go, I need a here, bro. I need a here, bro. We're writing it for you.
I need you here, bro.
I need you here, bro. We're writing this up for you.
The theme song. The whole Campea community needs Disney Plus credit. Let's go.
All right. Now let's move on here. Okay.
He says, I was going wild. I don't care if it's a waste. The shit was awesome. Now, if they can just do a full musical and release it on Disney Plus, I know it won't happen, but a kid can dream.
Look, listen, I like the clip of Rogers the Musical that they played at the end of episode 6. I like that clip. It shouldn't have been the end credit. And I think I talked about this on the companion video the other day. It's like, what you could have done is then, the camera is here and the stage for the musical is here. And the camera's looking this way across the back of people's heads onto the stage. You can see the stage, right? If they had kind of ended that musical number with the camera swinging around and then looking at the faces of the audience and then comes in and you see old man Steve Rogers sitting there watching the show.
Oh my gosh.
Or you see Hank Pym sitting there watching the show, or you show Natasha sitting there watching then it would have been, you got to show your clip and it would have been a legit post-credit scene at the same time. So again, I like the clip. I do. I just don't think it should have been the post-credit scene.
That would have been so cool.
Could have been fun. All right,
the
what's
old
next?
man Cap going, I know who that is. B. Wayne NY says, hey, JC, for the Hawkeye finale, I don't think that end musical was meant to be a real post-credit scene, but more of a gift to Marvel fans per the Happy Holidays opening. Watching Jack fight, I couldn't help thinking he'd make a great movie Zorro.
As far as, they are doing another Zorro movie, by the way. I get that. I get that. That's why they should have just released that clip on Disney Plus. As just a clip. They should have just put that up on Disney Plus and actually done a post-credit scene. But I see you're coming with that, B. Wayne. All right, what's next?
Matt McClure says, new Matrix, absolute rubbish. The gutter. I have no idea how this got made. I really don't. Not even Keanu could save this. I
kind of agree. But you know what surprised me? I'll be very interested to see the box office numbers. Because when Ann and I went to the theater last night, and the theater again was packed, of course, almost everybody was seeing Spider-Man. We walked into the theater to watch our movie. It was almost 3/4 full, which I was expecting 15 to 20 people in the theater. So I'm going to be really interested to see what kind of box office numbers it pulls. All right, what's next?
Swim says, Matrix Resurrections, too much exposition, too meta, too many callbacks, characters like Morpheus, Agent Smith, and a certain other guy whose goons they fight, no spoiler, are there, just to be there. I felt like it wasn't taking itself seriously enough.
By the way, before you go into part 2, oh my God, do I agree with you on that. I'm not even going to say who it is or what part it is, but I know exactly what you're talking about, Swim, and that was so stupid. That was such a waste and so stupid. Anyway, please continue.
I think Anonymous and Swim are the same person.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Don't get me started on how they tried to retcon certain things, like with Neo. The fight scenes were also a downgrade from the previous installments. The movie felt like a bad fan fiction. Overall, it made for a bizarre watch that left me scratching my head.
And again, listen, in all due respect, there are a lot of people. It has positive critic reviews and right now a positive audience reviews. All due respect to everybody who likes this film. That's awesome. All films subjective. I'm glad you had a good time. I didn't. No, I just didn't. I agree with you, Swim. To me, it was a really poor movie. Even for somebody with not a lot of expectations going in, I was pretty disappointed with it. And Anne, quite frankly, I think even today is still pissed off at me. You ever wake up? Well, no, neither of you do. But any of you guys, you ever wake up with your partner and you can just tell from the start of the day they're mad at you for something? And I kind of felt that today. Felt like Anne was maybe a little mad at me, and I think she's still mad. I brought her to see Matrix because I think she had that bad of a time. All right, what's next?
Dacky says, hey, John, I have seen some people a little mad that the Snyder Cut isn't on the Oscar shortlist. Why would it be? 1, it's a recut. 2, it was HBO exclusive. I don't even think it would qualify for the Emmys.
Yeah, and shortlist for what?
Best Picture, duh.
No. But honestly, shortlisted for what? I mean, you do raise a great thing. Number 1, I don't think it qualifies as its own independent film, even though a lot of people look at it as such, and that's fair, but I don't think it technically qualifies as its own standalone film. Number 2, it is a recut. And number 3, it was strictly an HBO exclusive, which means maybe for the Emmys. I'm not, depending on what the rules are this year, the Academy has kind of changed the rules a bit, but I'd be curious to know what category exactly they're looking for it to be shortlisted for, because that raises a question. So I don't know. We'll find out. All right, what's next?
Okay, Dangerous D says, hi, John. There's a surprise casting in the Flash movie. with The Hollywood Reporter gave a synopsis of the movie. Nothing that fans didn't know already, but its cast list included Michael Shannon, General effing Zod will be on the Flash movie, excitement up to 10.
And Faora.
That's right.
And Henry Cavill. I am announcing it here. Take it to the presses. Henry Cavill's going to be in this movie. No, I think maybe a 30% chance, but yeah, very, very excited about it. We talked about that a little bit earlier. Thanks for sending that in, Dangerous. All right, what's next?
All right, Dangerous D says, hi, John. Deadline is reporting the Blue Beetle starting Zolo Mariduna, Cobra Kai, has a release date of August 18th, 2023. I believe this will be the first movie about a superhero of Hispanic descent.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. I mean, now they've given an official release date. I'm not a big fan of Cobra Kai, but I like this kid. And I think he's going to be interesting to play. Oh, what is Blue Beetle's? It's Jaime...
Rodriguez.
Is it Rodriguez? I can't remember the last name. I know it's Jaime...
I think it is Rodriguez. Let me look.
Or Martinez, or I can't remember the last name of the character. Anyway, so I think it's Reyes. Thank you, guys.
Reyes.
I think he's going to be interesting in that. I like the age of him. I like the way this kid carries himself, even though I don't like Cobra Kai all that much. But still, so now they got an official release date. It's going to be really interesting to see how they even portray Blue Beetle with the scarab and all that kind of stuff, and how they're going to visually make that work. It's going to be interesting to see. And then do they ever do that long-awaited Blue Beetle Booster Gold matchup? Who knows? We'll see. All right, what's next?
Major Tom says, hey, John, I saw Matrix Resurrections, and I personally loved it. Despite its glitches, I have a love-hate relationship with the Wachowskis. They can create some visually spectacular stuff, but their writing, original Matrix excluded, is really awful.
Did they write? I can't remember. Kim, could you look this up?
Sure.
Did they write V for Vendetta?
Oh.
Because I think they wrote V for Vendetta, which to me is some of their better writing. Now, granted, that was an adaptation, but still, if they did write that, I think that was some of their better writing. But yet, listen, to say they are hit and miss is, yeah. I mean, it's because they did write V for Vendetta. Okay, so because the writing of V for Vendetta is great, the original Matrix is revolutionary. I mean, there's no other way to put it. The Matrix was revolutionary as a film. Unbelievable. But they also made Jupiter Ascending. And and among other things. So, yeah, it's a bit of a mixed bag. But hey, the important thing here, Major Tom, is you watched the movie and you liked it, and that's the most important thing. All right, what's next?
Thomas in the UK says, hi, John. I saw Matrix Resurrections on Wednesday in the UK. It was probably my most anticipated film of the past 5 years, but I didn't like it. I'm so disappointed. I almost want to cry. The story was uninspiring and way too self-referential. Let me go to part 2 here. Jessica Henwick was great, and I liked some of the moments with Neo and Trinity. There were some interesting ideas about humans and machines, but ultimately, the numerous clips of the original film just had me asking myself why I wasn't watching that instead. I saw the original in the cinema when I was a teenager, and although the 2 sequels never lived up to that masterpiece, they got better on repeat viewings. Perhaps Matrix 4 will grow on me over time. Let's hope so. What's your biggest film disappointment?
Well, first of all, yeah, I mean, we've already gone ad nauseum here, Thomas, and thanks for sharing your thoughts on the film, about what we thought about it. Disappointment is a good way to put it for us. Again, some highlights in it. I thought the film has some highlights. I don't think it's a dumpster fire, but I was very disappointed. As I said in my theater review, it's not one of the worst films of the year, but it is one of the bad films of the year. So that's just me. As far as biggest film disappointments, like the moment I walked out of theaters, it's probably Gangster Squad with Ryan. I almost said Ryan Reynolds, Ryan Gosling, Emma Stone, Josh Brolin, Giovanni Ribisi, I think was in it. Sean Penn.
Was Clooney in that? No, he wasn't.
I don't think Clooney was in it, but it was a movie that had Best Picture written all over it. It had one of the most incredible casts ever. It's like the gangster era crime stuff, which is like I'm a sucker for. And I honestly thought this is probably gonna be a front runner for Best Picture. And then we went in to watch it, and it was one of the worst films of that year. Like just absolutely horrible, horrible movie. And massively that, and one of the most recent Shane Black Predator movie.
Oh,
because I'm a big Shane Black fan. I love Shane Black. And I still do to this day. But because he was doing that Predator movie, I'm like, okay, this is going to be the shit. This is going to be awesome. This is going to be awesome. I thought the trailers looked good. And then I went and watched it. I'm like, ooh, yeah, this ain't it, Hoss. Did not work. So those are a couple of the biggest disappointments. All right, what's next?
Russell Amador says, hey, John, the rumors, hype, and trailer reveals led to a box office success so far for Spider-Man. As we transition to Doctor Strange, do you think they'll need to reveal more in the trailers to ramp up the hype, or just tell some story and people will come?
Well, look, I think the first thing they need to understand and acknowledge is that Doctor Strange 2 is not going to get the same box office as the Spider-Man movie. I mean, that's just what it is. Spider-Man is one of the most popular comic book character heroes of all time. And it is more suited for the general mainstream movie-going audience than a Doctor Strange is a little bit more wacky and out there and a little bit more, crazy and whatever. So it's just not going to. And if they think they're going to come out the gate and have Doctor Strange 2 have the same financial success as Spider-Man, then they're going to lose already. But what can the potential of a Doctor Strange be? I think they're going to reveal a good amount, but they're not going to give away too much. They very rarely ever do. I mean, they're going to give us another trailer. The first trailer was cool. They're going to give us another trailer that's going to basically tell us, okay, here's what the story's about. That's going to come in another trailer. And I think the connection with Spider-Man is going to carry over some momentum as well. So it'll do well. How well? I don't know. And we'll have to see how the whole pandemic thing starts to shake out too at the same time. So they just have to do what Marvel does, man. Just market the movie well. If you make a good movie and you market it well, you're going to have success. So let's see where that goes. Okay. That does it for all the questions today, guys. Let's now move on and start taking your comments here as we roll into hour number 3. We still got a little bit of time left, but before we do, we're going to take a short break here. We're going to get up, stretch our legs, go refill our drinks, give you a chance to run, use the bathroom, grab something to eat, talk amongst yourselves. So we're going to get onto your live comments here that you guys have been sending in during the show as we come back. So don't go anywhere, guys. We will be right back. All right, everybody, and we are back. Thank you so much for your patience and indulgence. So we took a little bit of a break there. Now, we're going to jump in and start taking your comments you guys were sending in during the live show. So, Kim, let's get over to it. What are people asking?
Okay, so Suthia says, just my opinion, Wachowskis equal not good directors.
I mean, again, I think it's more hit and miss. They've shown they can knock it out of the park, but yeah, this one wasn't a good outing. All right, what's next?
Raymond Verada says, if Keaton is coming back as Batman, what about Alicia Silverstone and Chris O'Donnell? Go ahead, John. Use your nerd voice.
Well, I mean, if we have them coming back, then Val Kilmer, because
yeah. So Alicia Silverstone. I'll still never forget one of the most ridiculous things from the George Clooney era of Batman. I still remember watching the movie. It's like they have to keep this secret about them being Batman and Robin and blah, blah, blah. And they were like, well, Alicia Silverstone found the cave. Okay, you can be Batgirl because you found our cave.
Is that what happened?
Yes, she found the cave. And so they went, all right, you get to be Batgirl. All like within 5 seconds. It was like one of the craziest things.
Like, as if.
You get to be Batgirl. All right, what's next?
Stefan De La Water says, if I ever buy a white car, I'm naming it Baymax.
Baymax is a good name.
Oh, that's cute.
That's a good name. So yes, we officially did it. Anne went into the settings on my car and she officially named it Winter Soldier.
Yeah, so
nice.
Because that was a great suggestion, Ray. That was a really good. So Anne's black car is called Moon Knight. That's the name
and
of it
the
on
Winter
the app.
Soldier.
And the white one is the Winter Soldier.
Think of a series. Moon Knight and the Winter Soldier.
It's right. I'm telling you, we are writing the MCU for Kevin Feige as we speak. All right,
the worst MCU.
John Redcorn says, Atlanta Season 3, March 24th, finally. Let's go.
It's about damn time. I've been waiting a while for Atlanta to come back.
Wasn't it like a 2-year gap or something?
I think it might have been longer. But listen, honestly, look at it. Obviously, you've got Gambino is super, super busy. Mm-hmm. But then Stanfield, he's become super hot in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. And Brian, what's Brian's last name?
Tyree Henry.
Tyree Henry. Yeah, he's doing Eternals and all of them have become super busy. So, but yeah, it's about time they bring this show back. All right, what's next?
Suthia says, The Witcher Season 2, Episode 7, Fringilla is a savage.
Fringilla is a savage. Listen, I watched all of Witcher Season 2.
Oh, you did?
Stepped down from Season 1.
Oh, no.
Still liked it. Like, I enjoyed it. Like, I binged it all. I was enjoying it. I was having a good time watching it. Not as profound as Season 1, but I did enjoy Season 2. I think it's pretty solid. I think most people will like it. All right, what's next?
Danny Sanchez says, thanks for recommending Resident Alien. Loved it.
Guys, watch Resident Alien. It's hilarious. It's really, really good show. All right, what's next?
Kai L. Wong says, Spider-Man gave me COVID.
Oh, I'm assuming that means you might have gone to the theater and got it. Don't laugh. Ann and I are talking about cutting back on on going to the theaters. We were actually talking about spending Christmas Day since we're still going to be here in LA. We were talking about going to Universal Studios Hollywood for Christmas Day, but I'm not so sure now. I'm actually having second thoughts, so I don't know. We'll see. All right, what's next?
Irrelevant and Beyond says, for Ray, I know you're a gamer and like docs. The history of Xbox doc is on YouTube and is pretty fascinating.
Watched it.
Oh yeah, was it good?
Would recommend it if you haven't seen it yet, but oh well.
I watched it. It's great. It's great. I really like behind the scenes stuff on anything if done right. If done right.
And this was done right?
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
I'll have to check that out at some point. All right, what's next?
And I don't even play games. Danny Sanchez says, Merry Xmas to the JCS family and its listeners.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you too, Danny.
Merry Christmas.
What's next?
Elizabeth Gerardo says, saw the new Matrix last night. I don't know if it was the fever from my booster or if it was just me, but wow, that was bad.
I wish I could. I mean, I got to go get my booster in the next day or two, but I don't even get to blame it on that. Yeah, it was, again, it was just hilarious as we're walking in and our buddies are walking out, they're laughing. Just turn around, go back to your car, man. Just go back to your car. We should have listened. All right, what's next?
Ruben Don Galen Jr. says, Kumastu Keo, Ray, John, and Kim. Even after No Way Home, as much as it satisfied my childhood, Shang-Chi is the best MCU project this year, in my opinion.
Oh, it is to me too. And by the way, salamat for that. It is for me too. Shang-Chi is the best. Well, it's not just the best MCU project. I think it's the best comic book movie of the year. I still think it's the best comic book movie we've had since Logan. I mean, I wouldn't put it in the top 3 of all time, but I put it up there.
I would add that it's probably, if not my favorite, one of the best introductions to a character that I knew nothing about.
Yeah.
So if you were introducing a character into this world that I've already been surrounded by, then yeah, it was great.
All right, what's next?
TR Noir says, been a fan since last year. Second super chat.
Thanks, TR.
Just wanted to say, love the show. And remember, I may not be able to climb down a tree, but I fought Thanos.
Okay, so I literally, hold on, let me see if I can bring this up. I put this up on Twitter today. Where is it? Oh, yes, there it is. So I put up on Twitter today, Hawkeye. I fought Thanos. Also Hawkeye. Help, I don't know how to climb down a tree. And, oh my God, it's got like 4,600 likes. So some celebrities must have retweeted this because normally I'll get like 900 to 1,000 likes. This has got like almost 5,000 likes on it now. So yeah, it's Hawkeye. I fought Thanos. Also Hawkeye. Help! I can't climb down this tree.
It was a big tree, man.
Yes, it was a big tree, but it was a tree. You should have been able to climb down a tree. True. All right. Anyway. What's next?
Lemon Papu says, I can't wait for the John Campea Show in the year 2156 with a digitally de-aged Ray Aura.
You won't have to, man.
What?
Asians. The Asians don't age until like, well, that's not true. Like Anne keeps telling me like she's going to look like she's 22 probably until she's like 56. There's
a big drop off.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Once she hits 50,
somehow.
Woo! Yeah, at some point she goes, I'm going to hit 56 and over. She goes, I'm going to go to bed one night and I'm still going to look like I'm 22. And then you're going to wake up in the morning beside my mom. Like, literally looking like my mom.
Hey, John.
So, all right, what's next?
Jim Nelson says, thoughts on a de-aged Harrison Ford Han Solo rumors?
I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all. They've already got Alden Ehrenreich who can play it if they wanted to do that. Harrison Ford has no interest in playing Han Solo anymore. So look, I'm not in the boardroom of Lucasfilm. All right, I'm not there. I don't know, but let's just put it this way. I'll be very surprised. That to me, that sounds like pure bullshit. Harrison Ford has had no interest in playing this character anymore. So I don't know. Who knows? Anything's possible. All right, what's next?
Crashing Coyote says, Matrix 4 was member berries done wrong, and Spider-Man No Way Home was a member berries done right. And these South Park post-COVID movies are brilliant.
Oh, I need to finish it.
Yeah, Ray and I together saw part 1, and then we got about halfway through part 2.
Yeah, I got to finish that today. Actually,
I haven't seen the second part of it
before I
either.
leave the place today.
We got about halfway through part 2. Oh my God, it's funny. Like it's really the Amazon Alexa stuff is so I laugh every time they do the
and
gag.
The way they sound so much older, but they still have the same sort of like
mannerisms.
Yeah,
So it works really well. All right, what's next?
Luis Enrique de la Peña says, good morning, everyone. John, you've always said mayonnaise is the jizz of the gods.
Yes.
Suggestion, heat a flour tortilla on a griddle and spread a little bit of mayo or butter. It's the snack of the gods.
I have done a little bit of mayo on a tortilla. I've actually
Of course you
added,
freaking have.
Of course I have. But I've added more stuff to it. Normally, I don't eat it just alone, but that does sound tasty. I have to try that.
I'm actually going to go make some right now.
Raise.
I'm going to step out and make it right now. I don't know.
Do we have tortillas? I'd say
No,
go
we
do
don't.
it. All right, what's next?
Fun Boy says, John, hope you make your way to Canada for Christmas.
I won't be
Aw.
there for Christmas. Ann and I, we realized we're not going to be able to do it over Christmas, so we're going to go like mid to late January. We're going to go, so we're still going to count it as the holiday season back up home with my family. All right, provided the pandemic doesn't start exploding and limiting travel and everything again.
know.
All right, what's next?
Martin Preto sends in a $20 super
Oh,
chat.
thank you, Martin.
John, after seeing Kingpin, I'm kind of worried about Daredevil. Hopefully the writers for Echo will do it justice, and your whole rant on the spoiler discussion had me laughing so hard.
I don't even remember what the rant was, but yeah. By the way, we don't even know that D'Onofrio is going to be in the Echo show. I mean, a lot of us are expecting that he will be, but just to be clear, there has been nothing that says he's going to be in the show. Obviously, I'm thinking he's going to be in it. Most of us think he's going to be in it, but just to be clear, Marvel has never said, nor has Vincent D'Onofrio or anybody said that he's in the Echo show. So let's just be clear about that. Yeah, but let's see where that goes. All right, what's next?
Al Renshaw says, love the Christmas light hair buns on Kim.
Those
You
are
came in
good.
with those and we are like, okay.
I was afraid I was going to set my hair on fire, but it's worth it to bring the holiday cheer. I'll take the loss. Okay.
All right, what's next?
Suthia says, No Way Home had second biggest domestic Friday opening with 122 million. It is snuggled between Endgame with 157 million and Force Awakens with 119 million.
Yeah, and of course, it became the second largest opening weekend of all time, which in any era is stop the presses. We need to appreciate this. In the pandemic era, it's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. All right, what's next?
Al Renshaw says, I don't believe that D'Onofrio is actually dead.
I don't think anybody does. I mean, even if you shot him on camera, we'll all think he's still alive. And they shot him off camera, yeah, he's still alive. All right, what's next?
Josie Reviews says, can we retitle Echo to Tracksuit Mafia in Russian accent? Let's go to Imagine Dragon or Maroon 5, bro. Hashtag Merry Christmas, Kim and Ray.
I need to hear,
Merry
bro.
Christmas.
I need
to
to hear, bro.
I need you here, bro. It's classic. I need you here, bro. I don't know.
Classic.
Oh my God.
Classic.
James O'Rourke says, can we just say Vinny D is a variant-ish?
I think he is. I mean, not variant-ish. I think he's going to be very, very similar to what we got in Daredevil. But as Vincent said, there's clearly a lot of things that don't connect. If there are a lot of things that don't connect, then it's not the same. You can say it's kind of the same. You can try to place it. He tried to play it the same. But who knows what Kevin Feige's going to do. All right, what's next?
Dan the Man says, happy holidays, guys. Love hearing everyone's takes. You're awesome. Kingpin and MCU got punked by classmates like the comics and Netflix. It was his father.
I'm not quite sure I understand what Dan the Man is saying. Love hearing everyone's take. You're awesome. Kingpin in MCU got punked by classmates like in the comics and Netflix. It was just, you're talking about the background of Netflix of Kingpin and how he got to be the way he is and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But it should be pointed out, there are also different origin stories for Kingpin in the comics. They've done different iterations before, too. That's the thing about the comics. A lot of people say, in the comics, yeah, but there are like 3 different versions of that. Like the Joker origin story. There's multiple Joker origins in the comics, right? So just something to keep in mind. All right, what's next?
Ruben Donaglan says, did you see the cufflinks Easter egg? In Hawkeye, the cufflink Kate snapped and the one we saw on Uncle Sleeve in episode 3 is the same in Daredevil season 1, episode 8.
Yeah, we talked about that a couple of times. Again, but it's also the same actor playing him. And he also has a bald head. And he's also wearing a white jacket. And yeah, so to me, that's just a really good detail they should carry over regardless. All right, what's next?
Mark Netto says, Matrix Resurrection should rest in peace. Sadly tried, but it failed for me. And John, Miracle Whip rules.
Yeah, I like Miracle Whip, man. I'm a Miracle Whip Heinz. I'm good with all of it. But I didn't have expectations for Matrix, so I was still hoping it would be awesome. The trailers were incredible. Oh, but oh well. All right, what's next?
Arturo Castro says, "Hey, John, after 3 years of not being able to see my brother, we weren't able to see No Way Home together, but man, when I tell you we broke down talking about it."
I mean, look.
That's so sweet.
It's something special about a movie when you watch it and you come out and you can't stop thinking about it. Yeah. And it's not super rare, but it doesn't happen a lot. And Spider-Man No Way Home, like for me, Shang-Chi was one of those. West Side Story, I'm still thinking about to this day. I still can't believe how good that movie is. Best movie of the year still to me. But Spider-Man No Way Home, they just do a lot. I mean, some of the stuff they do, look, let's be honest. A lot of stuff they do in Spider-Man No Way Home is just kind of gimmicks. But gimmicks is not a dirty word. You can use gimmicks well, just like fan service. Fan service is not inherently a bad thing. If you use fan service right, it can be really effective and really good. And there's just a lot of these little stunts they pulled in it that just still have me thinking about how they pulled it off. So yeah, that's well said. All right, what's next?
Cool Ranch says, last week, Haley Steinfeld joined Florence Pugh, Anya Taylor-Joy, and Zendaya in turning 25 this year. 2021 was a huge year for all of them, and I look forward to seeing them thrive in Hollywood for years.
First of all, I think we've all known Florence Pugh she's going to be around a long time.
Mm-hmm. I had no idea she was so young.
Haley Steinfeld is amazing.
Yep.
And she just keeps proving that all the time. Anya Taylor-Joy, I mean, between the chess show, Queen's Gambit. Is that what it was called?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, which she was incredible in. She was incredible in the most recent, in Last Night in Soho. She was incredible in that. I mean, this is turning out to be her year. She's going to be in the Mad Max prequel coming out.
Oh yeah.
So but I'll tell you what, Zendaya is one of those who I thought, all right, she's cute. It's cute. It's adorable. Her thing. But I don't know that she's long for this business. And then she did, what's the damn HBO show? Euphoria, which I don't really like Euphoria, to be honest with you, but her performance in it is amazing.
Amazing.
And then she's in The Greatest Showman. Mm-hmm. And she was, I mean, we already knew she could sing, but she was amazing in that. And every time we see her now, it's like, yeah, no, I put her right up there with Florence Pugh and Haley Steinfeld and Anya Taylor. She's going to be in this business a long time.
You can't doubt her no more. You can't doubt her no more.
Yeah, and at some point, she's going to have some trophies on her mantle. Mm-hmm. I don't know if there'll be Oscars, but she's going to have more trophies on her mantle. Yep. And maybe even Oscars. I don't know. Like, she's just proven it every single time she does an outing. All right, what's next?
Donut Head says, a guy in the No Way Home audience said it was his favorite Marvel movie. Then, when the Sony logo came up, he booed. I don't understand that logic.
Yeah, no. People, it's like when something goes wrong in a Spider-Man movie, they instantly blame Sony. When something goes right, they instantly blame Marvel. And I just laugh. I've stopped trying to talk to people with common sense when it comes to this. It's like anything good that happens is because of Marvel. Anything bad that happens is because of Sony. It's like, it's both, right? Like, you do know. But anyway, I've just stopped, given up. It's like, if people want to be kind of in the dark and stick their head in the sand about it, let them. But yeah, it is what it is. All right, what's next?
Bobby Jackson says, Charlie Cox's Daredevil would have more movies and appearances than Kingpin. So I think more people want to see Charlie than Vincent for that reason.
I think you're dead. I'll be honest with you, Bobby. All due respect, my film loving brother. I think you're dead wrong. Like, Daredevil's Daredevil. He's the title character. More people want to see, like, Daredevil, of course. But I honestly think if you did a national poll and said, okay, Kevin Feige can only bring one of those two main Daredevil actors back. Either Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock or Vincent D'Onofrio as Wilson Fisk. I feel very confident that the people would vote for Vincent D'Onofrio. Charlie Cox is awesome in Daredevil. Vincent D'Onofrio changed the game. Again, I think he is one of those 4 or 5 people, like, as great as Charlie Cox is as Daredevil, and I think he's wonderful as Daredevil. I don't think of him in the same breath as Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, as guys who are born to play those roles. Vincent D'Onofrio's in that conversation. He's in that conversation that this dude is born to play this role. He is so good as Kingpin. Charlie Cox is great, but he's not in that conversation. So I don't know. That's just my take on Bobby. And by the way, there never was a national poll, so I cannot say that definitively. I'm just saying I believe if there was a national poll, that's the way it would go. All right, what's next?
That dude, Jake C., says, hey guys, love the show. I agree with Kim's Kingpin take. I think they just beefed him up and made him more comic accurate. I bet Daredevil will be able to take do some more damage as well.
I mean, but it wasn't just that. I watched that episode. I'm like, this is not the same guy. Look at who he's employing. Look at what he's surrounding himself with. Look at how he dresses. Look at even just the down things to his decor. When you go, again, look at me straight in the eye and say the Kingpin in Netflix would employ the tracksuit mafia. Look at me with a straight face and tell me that that's what that Kingpin would do. Of course he wouldn't. The Kingpin from the Daredevil series would never employ the tracksuit mafia, nor would he have bead curtains.
Maybe he needed a discount on security.
Maybe he needed bro discount.
Bro discount.
Classic discount.
Classic.
So I mean, it's a little bit more than that. But who knows? Hey, we'll see. We will see. I'm not willing to bet $1 million on it. Not at all. I'm just saying.
Not yet, John.
No,
I'm waiting for that $1 million bet.
$1 million bet. All right, what's next?
James Argenta says, Echo shooting Kingpin is straight out of the comics.
Yes, it is.
Kingpin survives the shot and is blinded. Kingpin will return in Echo, and Matt will be in She-Hulk and Echo, in my opinion.
I mean, and all that is possible. Like, obviously, none of us really believe Kingpin died, except Ray.
No, not now. After I heard that's what happened in comics, I took it back.
But you kind of thought he's the one and done, right? You thought he's the one
just
and done.
because it was like they put him in, he didn't do much, and then they might as well just get rid of him at that point.
Yeah, gunshot off screen, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, he's clearly going to be there, and we'll see what they do with Charlie Cox. All right, what's next?
Hulk Smash Your Mom says post-credit scene was complete ass. Love you guys.
I'm assuming he means from Hawkeye. And again, I like the musical clip. It just, you shouldn't have put it there as the post-credit scene, but I agree with that. All right, what's next?
Paths Unwritten says, guy from a role 35 years ago returns. Don't care.
I don't know what we're talking about.
He's just saying the trend. It's like he's mocking the trend right now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Michael Keaton coming back, just people coming back to the role.
All right. Well, I think a lot of people do care, but all right. What's next?
Vault of the Future says Holland is the Harrison Ford of this generation.
No. No. Just flat out no.
Wow.
Harrison Ford was, besides being in American Graffiti and then having a long list of like incredibly, let's bring this up here. Listen, I like Tom Holland very, very much. You just heard me gushing about him. Is he Harrison Ford? Fuck no. Like, he's not in the same conversation. Like, not even remotely in the same conversation. Like, this is a guy who has done, besides two of the most iconic franchises ever in history. He is Han Solo and he is Indiana Jones. But outside of that, he's Rick Deckard in Blade Runner. He's John Book in Witness. He was in The Mosquito Coast. He was in Working Girl. I mean, it's been a beat since we've seen Working Girl, but how good was Working Girl? Presumed Innocent, Regarding Henry, Patriot Games, The Fugitive, Clear and Present Danger, Sabrina. Air Force One. No, Tom Holland is not this generation.
What if he's talking about as in career longevity? We'll see him in a bunch of these movies, and he'll be good in all of them.
Well, I mean, if you're thinking he could become that,
yeah, that's what I thought he was saying.
If you're saying you think he could become that someday,
like our next Harrison Ford.
Maybe, but other than being very lucky to be cast as Spider-Man in a Spider-Man movie and showing that he's a very talented actor, like, you go down Harrison Ford's resume, it is iconic role after iconic role after iconic role after iconic role, and two of the biggest roles in the history. You can't say Tom Holland's name in the same breath right now. I mean, and by the way,
in 10 years, maybe?
Maybe. I mean, but we got to see what happens in the next 10 years.
Yeah, it's too early to ask that. I mean, you can't ask that right now.
No. But we could be saying that about Gal Gadot in the next 10 years. Like, in the next 10 years, maybe she becomes. So I just think right now, as much as I love, you guys always hear me gush about Tom Holland.
Oh yeah, Tom Holland's like one of the best actors today.
I love him. I think he's fantastic. But should he be in the same breath career-wise as Harrison Ford? No.
Do you see him walking that line though towards that? From what his choices, I know he's made some bad choices, but those bad choices he's always been good in.
Yeah, he's shown talent, but there are a lot of actors who have shown a lot of talent and are really good. But and there are many of those actors today. Can you say could they become the next Harrison Ford? Sure, you can say that for a lot of them, including if you want to say could he possibly become that? Maybe. But should he be in that conversation right now? No. He shouldn't be in that conversation right now. At least I don't think so. And I say that as somebody who totally loves the guy. And I can't wait to see him in Uncharted.
Acting wise, you think they're similar in a way?
No. He's not in the same league as Harrison Ford yet. No. He's very good. He's very good, but he's not in the same league as Harrison Ford as an actor. Not yet. Not yet. All right, what's next?
Orlando Orrego says, can't believe Spider-Man is at 700 million, almost to 1 billion.
You know what? It might even be more than that.
Wow. No, someone just posted in the chat. It was like 861.
So crazy.
I'm going to go to Box Office Mojo right now and just take a quick peek.
I got to say, I saw it again last night.
I got to see it one more time.
And my theater was full in the middle of the week. Actually, the theater I was planning to go to, I didn't get my tickets in time. It was totally full, so we had to go to a completely new theater.
Which I'm not surprised.
Tuesday night.
I will point out, okay, so officially right now, it's at 751 million.
Oh, I thought okay.
I saw some other people say 800. They may be getting that from another source or whatever. Mm-hmm. But and it very well could be. But for now, technically speaking, officially the line is 751 million.
It's so great, right?
And which is it's not great. It's freaking amazing.
That's already surpassed some things.
Yeah,
right?
It's going to be past a lot of stuff. So it's closing in on 1 billion real fast. All right, what's next?
Hayden Wilson says the fight between Peter and Goblin at Happy's apartment was so freaking...
and we should have just passed by that. Anyway, just keep next one.
All right. Advice from Paul Feig. In the words of this is from Ron Frazier. In the words of the immortal coach, Edwards, don't press send. People have to think before they tweet. Love the show, guys.
Again, I think all these celebrities should absolutely hire a social media manager who, when they want to draft something to post, it goes to their social media manager first, who can then hit, that's harmless, and hit send, or call their boss back and say, hey, just want you to take a breath, and did you really think about posting this? And that's something Paul Feig probably shouldn't have posted. All right, we got time for like one or two more, and then we got to wrap it up here. What's next?
Ben Rayner says, I think I'm on an island alone. I liked Matrix 4, and I'm sorry. I liked it as a best sequel 2 of 4. I know I'm in the vast minority. I'll hide now.
You're not in the vast minority. The majority like the film so far. I mean, that's the reality of it. The majority like the film. I think it's terrible, but that's just me. I'm just one voice and one opinion. We all have different opinions about movies. That's the beautiful thing about them. So, yeah, I mean, if you like it, man, and you're actually in the majority, not the minority on this. All right, last one for the day. What's next?
Peter Cunnington says Matrix has 68% on Rotten Tomatoes, so must be good.
Well, it doesn't mean it's good, but what it does mean is, and by the way, it has almost identical audience rating, which means that if you go to see it, if you're a random person, you go see it, there is a better than decent chance that you'll probably like it. Even though I think it's terrible, that's just the way it hit me and the other 32% of people. But at 68%, that just means the odds are in your favor. The odds are you'll probably like it, or you might end up in the 32% like me and be somebody who doesn't really like it. But yeah, so we'll have to see. All right, guys, listen, there are a couple of more in there that we just don't have time to get to right now. So we'll pick up on those tomorrow, because tomorrow I'll be going solo and we'll just have a lot of time to catch up on all these. So that'll do it for today's installment, the December 23rd edition of the John Campea Show. Thank you guys so much for being here and being a part of our day. And by the way, big special thank you to all you guys who sent in the questions and who sent in the live comments. Number one, because you gave us great fun things to talk about. But number two, you gave us, you supported the channel as you did it. And all of us here at the John Campea Show, thank you guys so very much for your support. Want to say thank you to Kim, and we're not going to see you until after Christmas. No. So where can people follow you with your lit up hair? I think you should wear those every day.
Thank you. Ding, ding, ding. Happy holidays. You guys can find me on Instagram at wasgoodkimberly. Please be safe out there as you enjoy yourself.
And of course, beside her, Ray. Ray, where can people find you playing next? By the way, what does that say? Pull up your sweaters a little bit. What does it say?
Your sweater's dope.
Achievement unlocked. Purchased ugly Christmas sweater.
This is like what pops up when you do an achievement on the Xbox. Yeah, so Ray Aura with a 0 in replace of the O instead of the O.
And of course, you guys can follow me on social media on Instagram and on Twitter. Right there, you can see it at John Campea. That'll do it for us for today, guys. Don't forget, I'll be back again tomorrow. That'll do it for now. My name's John Campea, and until next time, my friends, bye-bye.